racing in the world, just because there's so much side-by-side action.
And yes, I think this event is everything that it's made out to be. One of the best events on four wheels I think you're ever going to find.
There's nothing like winning at Chili Bowl in general, even if it's a prelim night or the Race of Champions. Just to get on the racetrack's pretty special. Come a main time, just seeing the crowd there.
To come here and just do what we've done, you know, over the 30-something years.
It's always fun whenever you get like a heavy hitter deep in the field that's going to come up to the field on Saturday. And, you know, the crowd there is just electric, as you know. And whenever they get someone who's coming up through the alphabet soup on Saturday, they get into it, and it's something worth watching.
Kevin growing up at the feet of Sammy and coming to this race all his life. From the time he was born, he's been coming to the Chili Bowl.
I said, if you're ever going to make 5 good laps, you better make them right now.
People don't realize how much this race really means to me.
That's good for our sport to actually race against the top race car drivers in the United States, and you know, it's a little notch on your resume, you know, if you can beat them guys, and got some good bragging rights going into the following year.
Well, a very pleasant good afternoon and welcome in for the final time to preliminary night here at the 39th Annual Chili Bowl Nationals, powered by NOS Energy Drink, live on FloRacing. Guys, the final prelim night for 2025. They went fast, but they have been utterly fantastic, and hopefully we can put one more great one together before tomorrow's all-day finale live here on Flo. Caleb Hart, Chris Wilner, Clinton Boyles. So many stories we have followed throughout the week. Seems like we've had a different story for every main event this week. Tonight, the defending Chili Bowl champion, two-time champion Logan Seavey, takes his try at it with a hungry field of drivers right in behind him, looking to knock him off his perch.
Yeah, absolutely, Caleb. It's a stacked field throughout from top to bottom, and of course the storyline being Logan Seavey, but also Clint Boyles. We got a mover, Justin Grant, making the move for the first time in several years from RMS to Chad Boat, looking to finally get that elusive driller and maybe knock Logan off Mr. Friday Night, as he's developing to be. Mr. Friday Night wants his title back.
Yeah, and Justin has been absolutely incredible so far this week. Looks so good in the Race of Champions, and you know, arguably one of the best cars in those final 10 laps of that Race of Champions race. So it's going to be really exciting to see what these guys can do tonight. We've seen a great racetrack all week long. I expect nothing else on this final Friday night, and I'm sad we're coming down to the end of this.
Always is. It's bittersweet, but that also means we are just a little ways away from Driller Saturday, which our all-day coverage will start tomorrow morning and go all the way through the checkered flag on the 40-lap A main event. Not to put tonight in the rearview mirror already, there's a little bit of something for everybody here tonight. Obviously, you have got the open wheel stars in Seavey and Grant going tonight, but you have got some talent from all across the world and all different racing ventures coming in to contest Chili Bowl this evening.
Yeah, you certainly do. Today we're going to see the debut of Kyle Busch here at the Chili Bowl Nationals. Obviously being a part of the Tulsa Shootout, his run in this building the last few years, but really curious to see what he can do, especially because it's been a little bit. He didn't even get to practice on Sunday. He ran the West Coast Swing, a couple of the races with USAC, but other than that, it's going to be his first laps in a midget around here at the Chili Bowl. So excited to see Kyle. And then, of course, Santino Ferrucci. I mean, electric personality. He was in the booth the other day. He's ready to go. I talked to him earlier. He was like, I learn every year what to do in this building, and I don't know, he may put on a show here.
Yeah, he's always exciting every time we see him on the racetrack. You never know what you're going to get. So I think that's going to be the story on Friday is you never know what you're going to get throughout the events of these heat races, into the qualifiers, on into the main. So it's going to keep us on our toes, and it's going to keep you guys excited back home.
Say nothing for former Daytona 500 champion Ricky Stenhouse Jr. going tonight from the NASCAR world and more. Going to be an exciting night of racing, so kick back, relax, and enjoy. Crack a cold one and hang out with us here for the next few hours as we get ready to go here at the Chili Bowl. Our 5th Mile Clay Oval inside the Sage Net Center here in Tulsa, Oklahoma, where today the doom and gloom has rolled in. Our beautiful sunshiny weather that we did have is gone. In fact, expecting some pretty heavy rain as the night goes on, but this beautiful roof over our head means it'll stay a nice 72 degrees inside the arena, and of course, temperature control, a wonderful thing for building a great racetrack, of which we've had a track that we can pass on nearly every race, every A-main event. That is for darn sure. Dirt Draft Hot Laps coming up first tonight. Opening ceremonies will follow them, scheduled right now for 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. Heat races tonight for the 83 cars that drew in. We'll go 8 laps. We will have D features tonight, which will be 10 laps. The top 2 will advance from them. And of course, the cars that go into the D features and the C features are ones who don't make the top 40 in our points format. The 40 cars that do go make our qualifiers will come up a little bit later on. They will have another chance to score points in and there. You're looking to get into the top 16 in points by the time you're done with heats and qualifiers. If you're not in the top 16 in points, you do not lock into the A-main event. You will be divided into 2 B features, of which there'll be 15 laps. Top 4 cars will come out of each of them to fill out our 24-car 30-lap A-main event tonight. Only the top 2 in the A-main event lock in to Saturday's pole shuffle, which at the end of tonight, we will do the draw for the pole shuffle coming up tomorrow. At least we traditionally have done that as such. So let us check in with another member of our broadcast team, Brian Ward. It was a busy A-main last night, but up until then, a little bit tame. I wonder what you're expecting here tonight here at the Chili Bowl.
Guys, I'm curious to see what they do with the racetrack. It seems like all week it's been that rinse and repeat pattern, kind of shifting where the trucks versus side-by-sides roll it in. Tuesday night we had the big extra marbles taking up the top third of the track, and they scraped it early on, and it widened out pretty early. Last night, they left it there. It took a lot longer to widen out, didn't get near what it did on Tuesday. So we're just going to kind of see throughout the night what they do, what they change. I do have a quick bone to pick with Chris Moore. He was talking yesterday about how great the weather was going to be, great golfing weather. I went to a BMX event today with several of the drivers, and it was cold and super windy. I didn't take a jacket because I was expecting the sunshine to be present, and it got awful chilly, but we had a good time. There were several drivers here. We had a Zoom call with Chase Johnson. They did a silent auction, some fundraiser events for Chase as he continues recovery in Atlanta. Drivers there signing autographs, and that was a good time at the BMX event. Tonight in the building, it is Turn to Bowl Pink Night. I think you can see behind me several officials wearing pink hoodies, pink shirts underneath their official shirts. And then I look up into the grandstands here on the front stretch. It's still pretty scattered right now, but they've got the pink ribbons hanging on the bottom and the upper railing. Several people that I can see that are already seated have their pink shirts on. The official Chili Bowl t-shirt and hat and hoodie trailer, they had a lot of pink hats made that are down to near the end of the merchandise that they have available. They still had a lot of pink hats. Talked to them just a little bit ago, and they said the pink hats are flying off the shelves now. So I expect as the crowd comes in and the seats fill up, we're going to see some pink hats. Front stretch is always a lot of fun. There's probably going to be some beads, some pink cowboy hats. Who knows? It's going to be exciting. I'm sure you guys will catch it and talk about it. It's going to be a fun night, the final qualifier. So I'll be here to catch any action. Trackside, let's see what our guys up top have.
Well, Brian, your brother, Gordy Gundaker, just walked by us, so we said hi to him. He hit it off with Gordy last night. Chris, you were talking about the weather was raining earlier.
Yeah.
Not raining in the building, though.
The Weather Channel app lied to me. My bad, everybody. I apologize.
That's what happens when you go to bed at 10 p.m.
Yeah, exactly. Chris goes to bed too early. The weather changed from 10 to midnight. But no, it's a great day here. Friday, I mean, man, we've talked about all week, just incredible crowds. And people say streaming killing racing. And I'm looking at saying, well, I don't know what they're looking at because this is just an absolute record crowd, has to be. I mean, the growth of this event that we experienced last decade is pretty incredible, and you can feel it. There's some intensity in the air as we close it on Saturday, Chris.
Yeah, and why wouldn't there be, right? You've got the storyline of Logan Seavey going for his third straight, continuing this run of streaks that we've had drivers been on. But two of the big dogs are back with Kyle Larson, who won on Monday night, Christopher Bell, who just missed out on a lock-in because it could have just as easily won last night as he ended up third. And the guys who have really staked their claim right here behind us, the Matt Wood Racing guys, are red hot this week. They've got another big one going tonight in Darren Pittman. So tonight, fully stocked with talent from the top to the bottom.
Highest car count of the week, 83, puts us at 377 total cars here that have entered and raced. We had over 390 entries, but 377 participants. 4 cars short of the record that we set in 2022 at 381. So I'd say things are pretty healthy inside the Expo Center.
Yeah, we are not dying. Streaming is killing nothing here at the 39th running of the Chili Bowl Nationals, powered by NOS Energy Drink. More to come here from Tulsa, Oklahoma. Stay with us live on FloRacing.
At the SageNet Center, Expo Raceway looking in fine shape for Dirt Draft Hot Laps coming up just a few minutes away here on FloRacing as you watch the 39th Annual Chili Bowl Nationals powered by NOS Energy Drink. Guys, it is time to get our preview of what it looks like in Dirt Draft tonight. And as we bring up the chart, ladies and gentlemen, a brand new leader on the FloRacing broadcast. Who would have called that?
Yeah, I wonder. Cheater.
Cheater.
I don't know.
He doesn't have the 5,000 extra bonus points that Chris Moore gets every night.
Yeah, that's
right?
true. No, he doesn't.
He doesn't. So Tyler McKim is up on top of the FloRacing broadcast team. Meanwhile, it's JWK 3114 with a 8-point lead over the rest of the field over on the far left side. You can get a free t-shirt for subscribing to Dirt Draft. Download the app at the Google Play Store or the App Store, or sign up at dirtdraft.com. Free t-shirt involved for you if you do, and you can play a bunch of the major games, major races that are out there for Dirt Draft Fantasy. All right, guys, we've got some catching up to do in the booth here tonight, but Clinton's got some good positivity going. You're calling your shot tonight.
Yeah, we're going to be good tonight. I announced my lineup last night. I'm not doing it tonight. You guys will have to wait and see and figure it out because I'm not sure I'm totally locked in. You got to wait till Dirt Draft Hot Laps to,
true story.
Cement your
Chris.
lineup.
I'm about 90%. Like Clinton, I'd like to see hot laps first. I like 4 of the 5. I'm just a little shaky on my 5th. So.
Okay, so I just want to point out that on the broadcast on-air talent side of things, Chris, you're carrying the torch for everybody at this point. Right?
I'm trying, but I'm losing the gap here to
It's
McKim.
production that's up in front with McKim and Kyler, and we know Kyler's cheating. He's an asphalt guy. There's no way you can pull that off. And then content is sitting behind us in Dillner and Heavy Lunch. So I need you to step up and carry this, right?
Yep, you got it.
Put them on your back. Let's
I will.
go.
My back hurts a little bit today, but I'm going to keep trucking. We'll get there.
We'll see if Blake or Brian can
Clinton, you're
start making
300 back. I mean,
yeah,
you're not out of the game if you just whoop on them tonight.
Heck
we'll
with
see.
it, right?
Yeah.
Although, none of the on-air staff is dead last, right?
That is true.
Like, take a look at that. Like, Blake's right in the middle. Brian's in the middle. Earl, Moore, Clinton, we're all kind of packed there right in the middle, right? None of us are dead last, like, run with the flow. That's Kane. Kane?
Poor Kane.
Dude, step up. Like,
Don't feel bad, Kane.
do better.
Don't feel bad.
Do better.
He maybe it's like last year when I missed a night. Maybe that's what happened.
Is that what it was?
I don't know.
All right. Well, we'll find
I'm giving
out.
Kane the benefit. Then.
Dirt Draft Hot Laps are coming up in a bit, and again, you can play. Jumping in on the week-long contest may not make a lot of sense, but there are individual night contests as well.
Yep.
So sign on up, pick your team of 5 drivers based on the salary cap that you're given, and test your mettle. See where you come in against us with Dirt Draft at dirtdraft.com. Your BR Motorsports Ignitioneering Speed Shot is up there. We need to show you our last 10 winners here on a Friday night, presented by Winners Performance, the name, trust, and rear ends. So Friday night, wide and varied amount of drivers who have gotten here. The late Brian Clausen picked up the 2015 and 2016 win, and then it began the domination of Justin Grant, taking 5 of 6 with Tanner Thorson getting the pandemic year. Actually, 2021 was pandemic year. 2020, things were normal-ish for Thorson. So 5 out of 6 to Grant, and then Logan Seavey steps up and says, next 2 years are going to be mine, as he takes 2023 and 2024 Friday night wins en route to Chili Bowl championships. So.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I really think I love the storyline of the Grant versus Seavey and this new opportunity for Justin with Chad stuff and getting accustomed to the team. And we obviously know that Chad brings good stuff in this building, whether it is the shootout or the Chili Bowl, and they've had speed with Dason Persley, and I know Justin paid a lot of attention on Dason's prelim night to kind of what they were doing, and of course Justin got Race of Champions opportunities, so it's going to be fun. I kind of like this little showdown that may be brewing, Clinton.
Yeah, Justin's been so good with new teams each year at Chili Bowl. His first time down here with Clausen Marshall Racing, and won his prelim night that year. First year here with the Rams Racing guys, Rick Young, Jeff Taylor, and won his prelim night year. First year with the RMS guys, RMS EnviroFab, won his prelim night that year. So Justin has been very, very good down here, and another year with a new team with Chad Boat Industries. Their cars have been phenomenal all week long, and I think he's probably the guy to do it out of their stable right now. I mean, kind of the last option here on prelim nights, but definitely one of the strongest competitors that we see in the building.
Well, let's get a look at some of the guys that we're going to be keeping an eye on, our first visual of them, and there is Kyle Busch making his Chili Bowl debut. Busch got Big Al on the wrenches, and he will roll off a little bit later on in the program for his Chili Bowl Nationals first effort. Gavin Miller, one of 3 entries from Keith Kunz Motorsports tonight. Miller in car number 97.
Yeah, had a full season with KKM, 4 wins, 8th in USAC midget points, and then there's the aforementioned Justin Grant. Good-looking NOS Energy Drink 87 car, almost identical to Ricky Stenhouse Jr.'s car next there. It'll be fun telling them apart if they're next to each other, but really excited to see Justin, what he can do. And how about Darren Pittman? He's always good, Caleb, in this building.
Yeah, Pittman has been consistent on Friday nights for many years now, running with Matt Wood as part of the group, and what a week they have had. So Pittman will go off out of their camp. There is car number 2 from KKM, and it is Michael Pickens. Pickens, the CRC sponsored 54Z here tonight. See what Michael can do. His results have been
7-time Chili Bowl A main starter. People often forget. I know he doesn't run in the States a whole lot, but there's Sunshine, Tyler Courtney teaming up with Paul Silva as the second car to Kyle Larson, and not exactly has been a brilliant pairing, especially off the western swing, but starting to really get that program built up here in the building. And then, of course, you got the champ. Champ's here.
in one of the early contenders for best appearing car here on the night. We'll scan that QR code a little bit later on, but gorgeous looking purple and black mount for Logan Seavey. And there he is, Mr. Daytona 500 out of the CB Industries camp. There comes Ricky Stenhouse Jr.
Love the gold pipes.
Yeah.
That's a nice touch.
One more, and it's coming to us again from KKM, and this is Ryan Timms, the JBL Audio, number 67. Timms will round out our look at our notable entries here tonight at the Chili Bowl. We will come back. Dirt Draft Hot Laps getting close as you're watching our live coverage of the 39th Annual Chili Bowl Nationals, powered by NOS Energy Drink here on FloRacing. Cars have made their way down the ramp for our first of the Dirt Draft Hot Lap sessions as we get ready to roll out, get some heat in the motors, and find out where these drivers are going to be. Head to our FloRacing store to get the latest and best FloRacing merchandise featuring hoodies, t-shirts, hats, stickers, koozies, and more. Just scan the QR code and go shopping now. We're even closer to being sold out than we ever were before, but it's all dependent on you guys. Help us blow the FloRacing store all out of merchandise, and then they can order more stuff, more cool new stuff. It's all after you get this QR code, go to the store, pick up whatever it is you want, and be the coolest looking kid in school. Well, Dirt Draft Hot Laps about ready to fire off here in the arena. Sessions 1 and 2 go first. Heat races 1 and 2 in typically 1 or 2 hot laps. It's been 2 the last couple of nights for these first groups, just getting them split up.
Yeah, actually, would listen to the drivers' meeting. They're going to do what they did yesterday and bring out the first 2 heat races. Heat race number 2, once they roll in the racetrack, will go the infield. Heat race number 1 will hot lap and then immediately push off heat race number 2. So, Clinton, we talked about it earlier in the week. Some guys wish that happened Monday and Tuesday because of how soupy the racetrack is, and the opportunity to move around in your hot lap session probably beneficial for later on the night than just having 26 cars out here trying to rip.
Yeah, it's really tough when you're out there hot lapping with roughly 20 cars. I mean, it's really tight on a wide open racetrack, and if your car's not feeling just perfect, the last thing you want to do is try to run it a little extra hard or try to figure it out. You're just trying to survive, and even if your car does feel perfect and you feel in control, that doesn't mean everyone else around you is in control. And that makes for a really sketchy 3 or 4 laps. And, I mean, I have the wrong mindset, but I'm trying to win hot laps even. So I'm trying to, gap myself a little room to get going and, see how fast I can go in hot laps just to see, where you stack up. Because I think that's important to get your night started off right. And you want to be inside that top 5 at least come lap time-wise. And, that's just a good way to start your night and get some positivity going for you and your team.
Kyle Jones on the racetrack. Boy, he's really good in this building, but beneficial. Talked to him a little bit. Got to help Dylan Welch out on his Monday night prelim. Was basically on the wrenches for John Levesque and Ken over there and was able to really help that program out. And we saw Dylan go 22nd to 10th. He said, man, I learned a lot about what this track does, so can't wait for Friday. Well, now it's Kyle Jones' turn in that Royal teammates, I believe, to Sam Johnson. So.
Driver who pulled the lowest pill of the night, now onto your screen. Glenn Stiers, the 0G pole for heat race number 1 from Oswego, Ontario. Stiers helps out a lot of open wheel racing here. Good to see him get his try at things tonight from the pole. 44K, Brody Wake. Wake out of Lake Havasu, Arizona.
Brody had a solid shootout a couple of weeks ago. There is Flying Ryan Timms in the 67. Nearly won Friday night last year. Remember, late race battle with Logan Seavey, who came charging there in the back third of the race. And Ryan just came up short. Going to try to better that here in 2025.
Car number 74 is Luke Hall, the Wings 360 racer out of Ohio. He goes outside row number 4 in heat race number 2.
Be exciting to watch him as you take a look. There's Cale Coons back with Joe Dooling this year. Cale had a really good debut at the Chili Bowl a year ago, and good to see Joe Dooling, that iconic 63 car, back here at the Expo. Cale, of course, an accomplished open wheel racer in his young career, son of USAC Triple Crown champ Jerry Coons and Alex Midkiff. What a story this was, Clinton Boyles. Literally 1 month ago, had this car in near pieces. Actually, didn't even have the car built. Had to build the frame, the chassis, everything, and he got it done, and it's got the iconic Loyette 5. I believe he still works for Brad, doesn't he?
Yeah, super cool to see that. I mean, Alex obviously a very good fabricator, and those guys went to work and built a midget last second, and cool to see him here and competing, and good to see the 05s back inside this Expo building.
Been a few years. Nice to have that history back with us.
Colton Garris outside of row number 1 in heat number 2.
Garris running for Kevin Garris. It's a twister chassis with an S-Linger powering it. Chase McDermott making his Friday night appearance here at the Chili Bowl Nationals. McDermott inside row number 2 in heat race 2. He'll hold the infield.
I was going to say, Chase has been busy, though, with Steven Snyder Jr. and helping Josh Balicki as well. So Chase McDermott Racing so far was pretty good. Steven Snyder had a good run on his prelim night the other day, and Chase, of course, is going to be a guy who is looked at as one of those that should be well inside the top 10 in the show. As you take a look around the racetrack, heat race number 1 driver still out on the circuit. Card number 64 of Andy Pake will be outside row number 2 in the 4th starting spot.
One of a fleet of Rosie's Raceland cars that they brought up with them this year from South Dakota area. Look at Darren Pittman. Pittman has the high pill. He is starting 10th here in heat race number 1. So Pittman this good scoring opportunity, but it's going to depend on what he can do with it and what kind of racetrack we hand him. It's the 92M inside row number 4, Josh Most from Red Oak, Iowa. Here on the start, making their way to the loud pedal. The flag is out here in our first Dirt Draft Hot Lap. Tim's spraying some clay on our newly cleaned window, and caution lights are going to come out. We have two stopped up here in turns 3 and 4. It's the 85J Joshua Lewis, who's outside front row, and the 83H of Sam Henderson, who is inside row number 5. Lewis will roll. See if Henderson's car can pop out of gear and fire back off. Our first IBOC replay of the night, also on its way to you guys.
Oh.
Man.
It's so greasy.
I was going to say, you think it's a little greasy out there, boys?
4 or 5 cars in there.
Wow. I mean, it's like hitting ice. I mean, you just can't do anything. You're a passenger there. Clint, since I had the day off yesterday and got to kind of walk around and take it from a fan, what did you think of the speed in the racetrack, especially once we got through hot laps? I mean, we were typically in like the low 11s, and all of a sudden it felt like it got slow for a long time.
Yeah, it was slow. It was still just greasy, and I was surprised being the 3rd hot lap group, 5th heat race on my prelim night. There was still a lot of grease in the racetrack, and we've seen it all week long. I mean, no one's even really been close to the 10-second bracket, and you know, guys have, you know, traditionally we have 4 or 5 guys per night down in that time slot. So it's tricky. That, you know, things change around here. The shape of the racetracks may be a little bit different. They talked about, you know, straightaways are maybe a little bit flatter, not letting you carry as much speed, you know, straightaway to entry, and you know, tires change throughout the season, and for a lot of these guys that don't run midgets more than once a year, it just takes a little bit to figure that out. And so this is the first time they're seeing a really heavy wet racetrack and trying to get that car still kind of dialed in.
We'll try it again. Dirt Draft Hot Lap session number 1, heat race number 1. As you take a look at Darren Pittman, who, as Caleb mentioned, is going to have the most work to do in the opening heat race, coming from dead last in 10th. As Glenn Stiers makes his way up and under. Look out.
I'm glad they only put 10 out here for this. This would be a mess if they had the full 20.
Look at the way Ryan Timms bends that car in the corner. And when it's greasy, that's just what you have to do. You got to get your back of the car wrapped around your right front tire and then just control it from there. You can't go in uncommitted, that's for sure. You end up just tight.
I mean, look at the lap times here early. 13-1 for Ryan Timms. That is well off of what we've seen. Of course, this is Group 1, and you can just see with how dirty the front end of that race car is. They're going to get several laps here.
Yeah, they're giving them a long session here.
Still, just a lot of this is the moisture on the very inside of the racetrack, down on the berm. You know, we see these guys' front tires hit that and don't have a ton of grip. 1, because they're on throttle, so that front end's just light anyways. And 2, just kind of your front tires don't grab as much as your rear tires. The rear percentage is way higher. Your front tires are down in that grease, and you just see guys fighting it.
That'll do it for session number 1 of Dirt Draft Hot Laps. How about Andy Pake, 12.722? Not necessarily the time, but able to navigate through the grease in session number 1. Pake, Timms, Kyle Jones got up to 3rd. Joshua Lewis and Cale Coons, your top 5 after the first session. And just like that, hot laps.
Whoa.
Words are hard. It's Friday.
Whoa.
It has been a long, long week. Dirt Draft Hot Lap session number 2.
There you go.
Yeah, that seemed pretty dangerous. You might need a safety check here before so long. They're actually...
I think we all verified how safe we were last night.
Yeah.
Chris Moore missed the safety check meeting, though.
I heard that.
Yeah, he was
I
not
heard
present for a safety meeting.
He's been assessed a penalty for missing the meeting.
Sent to the tail.
However,
he is looking safe today, though. I can't confirm that.
he got to bed early with a nice mug of Swiss Miss.
Yeah. Blake Anderson did get through his safety meeting process much faster than Earl Hoon Jr. did.
I did.
Oh.
Earl didn't even answer all the questions. He left some on the sheet. Blake was done in a second.
Thank you, Clint. I'm glad you can confirm that, because I got wrongly accused.
Green flag out here in Dirt Draft Hot Laps. Session number 2. Rolling forward.
Oh,
careful, careful, boys.
Easy, everyone.
Luke Hall using up all the racetrack.
Whew.
Yep. Whoop. Nope. Can't park there, bud. And to a stop.
Yeah.
That is the other 40 car.
It's 48, Eric Weber.
Okay.
Luke Hall actually had stalled it on the top side of 1 and 2. You saw his tires stop and then slowly turn themselves back over just with the momentum and the grip in the racetrack. And it's easy to do. There's the battery out of
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah.
out of Eric Weber's car, and that is enough to shut it off.
Gonna need that. And so he'll be pushed
Surely
up
this thing
the ramp.
doesn't fire back.
Yeah. I mean, he may not know, but
nope.
So Eric Weber, we will see him shortly in heat race number 2 once Dirt Draft Hot Laps have completed.
At least putting the battery back in is easy.
Yes.
The question is, if it wasn't secured the first time, what do they have to secure it the second time? I guess we'll find out. Alex Midkiff in the Loyette looking 05. Should roll back into the throttle here in just a second.
Eric Weber needs a battery bungee. Robert Bell's still looking for the brake bungee.
Did we never get that GoFundMe up and off the ground?
I didn't see it.
All right. Chase McDermott probably has 0 bungees on that car.
Yeah, that is a good looking hot rod. Oh, look out.
Luke Hall is...
Got a lot of crossweight in that thing, and got some left rear drive, that's for sure.
You're being nicer than I am. I'm saying he was on the struggle bus. But he'll get it. He's a sharp race car driver. About 16 years ago won the NRA Run for the Rabbit out at Lima Land, so he's had some success in what he does. Garris, the 7K, getting it figured out. He's in the 12s, 12.9.
He's the fastest car in this group. And right as I say that, Chase McDermott jumps to the top of the speed charts.
Finally down to a 12.6. And that's going to finish off this hot lap.
Adventurous here early on Hard Rock Casino Tulsa qualifying night here in Dirt Draft Hot Laps. Obviously, Clint, you can't learn a whole lot, so
no.
At this point, it's just car runs, and
yeah.
Now, if you're early, you're probably going to think it's still going to be pretty juiced up early on.
The biggest thing is I don't think these guys, you know, if they felt good coming into this, should go back to their pit area here and just be like, man, okay, we were horrible there. What do we need to change? And freak out and, you know, overcorrect anything. The track's going to come to you. It's going to be the same as we've seen in the first 4 nights. And you should already have your game plan of what you're going to do going into this heat race.
We need to take a timeout. More Dirt Draft Hot Laps coming up next. Our 39th annual Chili Bowl Nationals coverage powered by NOS Energy. Hot lap session will roll to the racetrack and fire off with that gentleman really embracing Turn the Bowl Pink Night here at the Chili Bowl Nationals. It's a big look, but he's pulling it off.
I think he's rocking it.
Yeah,
quite
I like it.
nicely.
Several, as the crowd begins to file in here on Friday, we've got more and more pink entering, of course, Turn the Bowl Pink Night in honor of breast cancer awareness, research, and support.
Frame it up against a beautiful shot of the Kyle Busch midget right there on the back straightaway. One of the formerly dangerous areas of the back straightaway where your head had to stay on a swivel in case there would be a marshmallow or something coming whizzing by your forehead. No more marshmallows anymore. They have been given the band stick here at the Expo.
Doesn't mean that the Rowdies have found other items to enjoy themselves with. We had boomsticks. We had the Millbridge cowbells yesterday.
Guys, this one I think is my best appearing of the Friday crew. It's hard to go against the CV car, but the Felker car, the 11 you're looking at, is gorgeous.
Hey, Caleb.
Yes?
I'm going to hop in here and join your conversation because I'm sitting up here near the Rowdies right now just to get a good view of all these hot laps so I can make my final dirt draft picks here.
Okay.
And with as sloppy as this track has been early on, there are enough little dirt clods up here. We could be whizzing those by everyone's head. We are getting hammered with them up here in turn number 2.
We see you, by the way. You're on the big screen.
I want to know
that they found
what's
you.
in that guy's. Oh, he's got chili in his hat. How about that? The guy to your left. That's cool.
Yes, it is a chili bowl.
Wow. And then those guys' hats are
He
way
knows the
too-
assignment. He knows the assignment.
The non-Chili Bowl hats, those oversized, gigantic, they look like the NFL safety helmets.
Yes.
Those are ridiculous. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
We all know your head's not big. You're not Blade Kearns.
Right.
Reminds me of the backyard baseball characters.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. I remember those.
I'm sure there's some adults out there old enough to remember that. Not many kids, but what a great game that was.
Session number 3, I was going to say that's Austin Nye. This heat race number 3 for Dirt Draft Hot Laps. Heat race 4 out there as well. They'll pull the infield. As we take a look at who is who, Austin Nye is actually going to start on the pole of heat race number 3. There's the 51, not Kyle Busch, but the other 51, W of Curtis Jones. Pro Clean on the side.
Nye was originally scheduled for Wednesday night, ended up backing up into Friday. That's one of the Corey Kruzman driving school cars. As you get a look.
Pierce Urbanowski in the 19 car. Pierce been coming down here the last few years, had a couple of successful runs, and there it is.
The Johnny Murdoch special.
The 0 of Murdoch.
He and his band apparently just absolutely tore it up on Saturday night.
Is that the 0B of Botsford? It is.
Oh, that is Botsford.
Jason Botsford inside row number 4, heat race number 4.
Tyler Edwards, 5060 Inferno over on the side of that one. That's a Mount Stat Motorsports Spike SR11.
Ted is a popular fantasy pool dirt draft driver. He has done good things here. See if he can continue that on. You should look at the 7C. Chance Morris from Kennedale, Texas, goes outside of the 3rd row. Second 19 in this one. It is the 19F. That's Josh Shipley out of Surprise, Arizona, the micro and non-wing sprint car star. He goes off the pole for our 4th heat race. Donovan Peterson, 11X, outside row number 2 out of Brookings, South Dakota. Peterson owns that car. It's a Stealth with a Garrity Ford underneath it. Ricky Stenhouse Jr., the 86X. Ricky running from CB Industries. Only night that CB sent 2 cars out to the deal. Spike with a Speedway Toyota for them. And
Kyle Steffens in the 8S. Good to see Kyle back here at the Chili Bowl. A multi-time prelim A-main starter, but Kyle, I think, also originally was going to run a different night as well, and then came back to Friday right when the entry lists were announced. The Gordon Steffens King with Mopar.
He is Mr. Engines Overnight, by the way.
Yeah.
If you need a motor moved somewhere and you need it quick, Kyle does more of them than just about anybody. Our turn 1 shot over the top, giving him a lot of pace laps to roll around too. So not just long hot lap sessions, but long little wheel packs going on here before they cut him loose to green flag.
I believe that's Reese Womack, the 33W.
He's trying to pick up that number
Yeah,
as
Reese
well.
gonna roll off 8th in heat race number 3. Esslinger Power, you look at Andrew Felker's beautiful 11A. Felker, longtime competitor. Former lock-in on his prelim night, back when we took 3.
Was 3rd last year, got very close in that battle with Logan and Ryan Timms, 3-time feature starter on Saturday night. Has yet to crack the top 10 on Saturday. That is a good-looking hot rod. As Dirt Draft Hot Laps underway, session number 3.
See where we can get some lap times down to. 12.6 is...
I think they're gonna pick up in this one, Caleb.
Got a good pack. Now finally getting some cars to pick up some more speed. So you get a look at Kyle Busch. Busch, the FloRacing Lucas Oil sponsored entry.
Austin Nye and the Corey Cruzman. Hello. Hang on to it.
Keep turning. Got there.
This is kind of what I want to see here, too, is see if Ted can catch up to Andrew Felker, 2 really good cars in this session.
Now Felker just goes 12.3. Ted went 12.2.
Yeah, Ted to the top of the boards here. Let's look at Womack, 3rd quick on the speed charts with a 12.4. And Ted goes quicker on his final lap, 12 flat now. We are just about to the 11-second mark, 12.021. So continue to work the racetrack in, but still a little off pace. What fastest lap we've seen this week, Clint? Remind me, is it a teen?
I think
11
it's like an 11-1.
Yeah.
11-1 something.
Okay.
We did have one car stopped on the inside of turn 1 at the end of that.
Well, your 5 fastest
Tried to
times
figure out
came
who
from
that
the
would have
last
been.
session, so you're right, it is speeding up. Question is, how much more does it got? Where are we going to get to? As here is our 4th heat race. Shannon McQueen is the 7th car. She'll go inside row number 3 to load us up and let her loose. Daniel Robinson, Sammy Swindell's favorite competitor. It's the 57A. Out of Ewing, Illinois, Robinson. A successful career here inside the Expo. Dive into the wonderful media guide that's been put together. Robinson is a...
He's got a career best of B main on Saturday, but he's been here 16 times trying to. This is a great story too. Ronnie Gardner. I mean, an unfortunate situation, of course, if you've been following along the fires out there in Southern California and Los Angeles, devastating effects, and it affected the 6'8 Motorsports Group. Mitchell Johnson's girlfriend lost her home. It completely gone in the wildfires out there, and unfortunately Mitchell pulled the team, and so Ronnie and TJ Smith were without rides for the Chili Bowl, and thanks to social media and other marketing and networking efforts, Ronnie landed a ride. RMS had an extra chassis and said come on board and put together the 7T, and now Ronnie's back here at the bowl and in a really good piece, and they're actually also selling shirts to help the California wildfire victims as well.
He's a 12-time feature starter on his preliminary night and does have an A-main start on Saturdays as well. So, guy that can get the job done is taking a look at Landon Simon. Simon outside row number 1 out of Indianapolis. They get some love in the dirt drafts. Stenhouse on the track. Had him in the booth for our drivers only segment yesterday for a bit.
Yeah, did a great job, by the way. Everybody did a great job on the drivers only segment. Look at the Queen rolling there in the 7 car. How about Michelle Decker the other day in her prelim night? Did a really solid job. First ever prelim A main in the team car. See what Shannon can do as a look at Daniel Robinson. Really good run. Again, top 5 finish at DuQuoin earlier in December.
First guy into the 11-second bracket.
Yeah.
11.930 for Robinson.
Ronnie Gardner, second best out of this group. Shannon McQueen, third. As you look at Stenhouse and the NOS Energy Drink 86X. Ran for Keith last year, Keith Coons, and that last-minute effort kind of followed in Larson's footsteps and now teams up with Chad. But the checker flag waves, and it's Ronnie Gardner to the top, 11.917. So Gardner, Robinson, the best two out of this group, go 1-2. As the times begin to fall, top 5 currently through 4 sessions: Gardner, Robinson, Edwards, then McQueen and Stenhouse. Your top 5 as you take a look at the NOS Energy Drink Ramp Cam. NOS Energy Drink, of course, proud sponsor of the Chili Bowl, also the broadcast here on FloRacing.
Let's take a chance. Go up top to Blake Anderson, the K1 Race Gear interview.
Well, speaking of chances, we've got a 3-time Badger Midget Champion Chase McDermott. Chase, man, your hot lap group there. Is there anything that you can take from that other than just going in a circle?
No, not really. We had quite a bit of moisture out there to work with, so the car naturally just didn't turn very well. But we're working on it a little bit to try to be, maneuverable through the pack. So just checking everything over, getting everything cleaned back up for the heat race, and hopefully everything will be all good.
You guys feel pretty good about where you're at with this ride, though, through the week? How your teammates have ran, where you guys are sitting?
Yeah, I think so. Steven did a really good job on Wednesday, and I feel like that's definitely the closest package to what I have. So, with being both spikes with Toyotas. So, learned a little bit from that night, and had some good feedback from Steven to work, into my notebook, and I think we have a pretty good chance tonight.
Well, Chase McDermott, he picked up a win with Extreme Outlaw Midgets at Tulsa, and he also picked up a BC 39 prelim win with USAC in September.
Thanks, Blake. The bowl is getting pinker. Little by little. Well, about ready. What do we got? Hot lap 5, heat race 5, heat race 6, hot lap number 4, thereabout, if I get the number right. So.
Yeah. And we've got our first special guest of the day here in the booth. Welcome to Darren Nida. Darren, how's it going, bud?
Good. How are you guys?
Good, good. You brought us a special gift. But first off, let's talk about your weekend, though. Run for Dan Binks again. You have Cody Swanson as a teammate, but I know your night didn't go exactly how you wanted.
Yeah, I had a little bit of a rough night there on Tuesday. Started out, felt pretty decent in hot laps with Jason McDougall on the wrenches, and just had a little bit of a miscue in the heat race on our fueling sheet. But came back strong in the C, made a run through the C, and thought we were going to be in good shape there to make it through the B, and just had a little incident off of 2 there on the last lap. So, we've been plugging away, working on this new K-Tech midget engine, and it's running pretty strong.
Anything that you notice running that motor, what's unique to the properties of it?
Yeah, I haven't really run a lot of midget stuff, so everything I've run's kind of been a one-off deal. Came here a couple years ago with Dan Binks 3-cylinder, and that was really cool. Last year I ran just a standard S-Slinger, and this year I'm in the K-Tech deal. It runs really good. It restarts and starts better than anything I've had so far, and it makes some top-end speed too. So I'm really blessed with that thing.
What are you expecting come Saturday? You'll have a little bit of work to do. Racetrack has been very racy, though. Even early on in our race nights and such like that. I mean, what are you setting expectations for yourself coming to Saturday?
Yeah, I'd like to make it through at least 2 or 3 mains. I think Jason's got us really good car-wise, and Eric from K-Tech's got us good on the engine side. So I think if we can just pick them off quickly here through the, I think we start in the H. So I think if we can pick them off quickly, we can have a strong showing Saturday.
How was 2024 of obviously running 410 wing sprint cars, a couple wins at Butler? I mean, what does 2025 look like after that kind of success?
Yeah, it was good. We learned a lot, kind of raced all over the place, and going to go in, we committed to the All-Star deal for next year, so I'm excited for my first year with the All-Star Circuit of Champions.
Now, before we get this next group of hot laps underway, I noticed on the side of both your and Cody Swanson's car at Bill Mission Foods on the side. You've brought some tortilla chips too. You probably have been well fed this week.
Yeah, the Mission guys from Mission Foods got us really well fed this week. Got us some racing style tortilla chips. They're pretty cool. They're shaped like little race cars.
That's
Wait,
awesome.
what?
Cool. Yeah.
Hold on.
I'm going to open it up. Sorry
Shuffle- yeah,
sorry
shuffle
for the
it
noise
down.
in your microphone.
Well, we'll let Clinton do the taste test. Oh, yeah, look at that.
Yeah, it looks just like an Indy car.
It does. I'll try to.
That's cool.
All right, yeah. I like
There
that.
you go. Here,
Yeah.
Go.
Yeah, Indy cars and motorcycles inside here. That's cool.
That is pretty sweet.
All right, I'm in. Here in this hot lap session, Logan CV on the racetrack. CV starts 9th in heat race number 5. Really good point scoring opportunity for him. So we'll watch and see what Logan can do. It's Caleb Montgomery flanking him to the outside. Montgomery will be in heat race number 6. Starting in position number 8. Also good point scoring opportunity for Caleb out of Templeton, California. 45X. Tonight, your pilot is Jace Park out of the Johnny Herrera stable of cars. Park in the 45X.
Yeah, he had a big year running sprint cars for Johnny Herrera. So obviously he's been successful in this building for the Tulsa Shootout. Made all 4 A-mains a couple years ago. Made a handful again this year. And back at the Chili Bowl once again. Formerly ran for Chad Boat. As you look at the 1P out on the racetrack in heat race number 5. The 1P driven.
It's in heat race number 6.
Or no, heat race number
Terry
6.
Nichols. We haven't
Yeah.
pulled it inside yet. Sorry, not to take over there for you. But
No, you're good. I'm
you were
glad you
going to be
noticed
looking
that.
for a while in heat 5.
Thanks for the save.
2 more drivers. Your 17 car is Devin Camfield outside row number 3 in that same 6th heat race. And the 84R is your pole sitter for the 6th heat, Chris Roseland out of Carter Lake, Iowa. Roseland comes in a Spike with an SR11, owns that car himself. Zoom Drain sponsorship. I have no idea what that is, but I like the logo. Look cool.
Yeah. It's a sharp-looking race car. There is Santino Ferrucci, AJ Foyt IndyCar driver, and of course, I believe his 3rd Chili Bowl, getting better and better every time out. Had him down here in the booth with you guys, I guess, yesterday, and
learning stuff even as we broadcast.
Yeah. Well, you know, he's a sponge, and he told me this a little earlier today. He's like, coming into this, knowing absolutely nothing every year, it's like, just give me all the information. I'm going to process it and use it, you know, the following year. And he actually looked really good, Clinton, in hot laps on Sunday during practice. So
nice.
He's starting to figure it out a little bit. We'll see what he has this time around. There is the Johnny Murdoch machine. Of course, mentioned it in that last session. Never know what Johnny's going to bring in this building, but you know it's going to be a good time.
Doing his part to paint the bowl pink.
That's right.
On his prelim night.
Boogie.
Jay Boogie. Back with the Ramco guys.
And he's got a special helmet too, right? You were showing me earlier?
King chassis with the Toyota in it. Jason said he feels really good coming into this thing with these guys. Ran this car a couple times throughout the year and really liked what he had.
After a shootout to forget for J-Mac. See what he can do here at the Chili Bowl Nationals. Logan Seavey on lap number 1, already the fastest car on the racetrack.
Oh boy.
Oh no, Santino. Up and over the right rear tire, and the commentator's curse strikes number 1.
That car's killed. The whole front end shoved over to the left a few inches. That was a nasty hit straight into the K-rail.
You can see it just bending down into the left. A little pound of the visor. And Santino's week might be over awfully early.
Such a tough deal because he paced the first corner with Logan Seavey down in 1 and 2 good and got tight in 3 and 4. Didn't clear the slower car like Logie did and tried to just ship it off into 1 and obviously it did not work out for him.
Take a look at the IBOC replay of what happened to Santino Ferrucci here coming into turn number 1.
Left front over the right rear and sends him for a ride. A second look at it from the inside cam. Oh yeah, She got a little weeble and a wobble down to the left, unfortunately. Kills a left rear tire, but the frame is the bigger issue on the Ferrucci car. The Abacus Racing guys.
Tail tank smashed in there.
It'll be a quick assessment and then a battle plan going forward. And
you know, Brent Cox and the entire Abacus crew bring fantastic race cars down here, and you know, got some of the best in the business, obviously, with Logan Seavey driving for them outdoors, and incredible success they've had the last couple of years. And you know, this year behind the sprint car with Logan Seavey winning the national championship in their first try was you know, dang impressive. That's got Logan Seavey the Triple Crown, and you know, done it all with Abacus Racing. So
yeah,
it's pretty special for those guys. Applaud Brent Cox for what he does, and you know, giving these IndyCar drivers a chance here down in Chili Bowl.
See Ethan Mitchell out on the racetrack, Bundyville 19, as the green flag comes back in the air for Dirt Draft Hot Lap, session number 5. Make that Brendan Hires in the 19, as you take a look back at Logan Seavey, who paces Dirt Draft Hot Laps with 11.685. As the track continues to work in and get faster, trying to work underneath.
Smart by Logan there to just back out of it. Pick and choose your moments.
09 of Timmy Thrash, pole sitter for heat race number 5 on the racetrack, as the checkered flag is out, and Logie Bear to the top of the board. Seavey, Park, Gardner, Robinson, and Edwards the top 5 after 5 sessions. With Dirt Draft Hot Lap group number 6 coming out on the racetrack, heat race number 6. There's Dominic Gordon, West Coast racer, in the Buellman Motorsports 31.
Darren, what do you think about hot laps? You were out there. You were in where they had 2 groups at once, right? We didn't get to split.
Yeah, it was. It got hairy at times. I was lucky enough to be the only one that had the thing rotating good enough to stick the berm. But yeah, kind of just watching yourself and get as much space as you can before you take the green and rip about a half a lap and then just try and work your way to some clean breathing room. Yeah, there's a couple guys there that had a couple moments. I'm not sure if McDougal had a failure there or what, but I saw him duck down into the infield. It might be something to keep an eye on.
Uh-oh. It's a good eye there. Yeah, get a look at Gavin Miller's.
Yep.
97 Sound Gear car. I love the orange on that. You won't miss it going around the racetrack, that's for sure.
Inside row number 2 from his heat race, there's Montgomery once again. Outside row number 4.
Lewis Trucking sponsorship of Cole Tinsley, who originally was scheduled to go Monday. Funny story, that's the same car, same motor, well, previously on Monday, that what Dylan Welch ran last year. They hadn't run it since. He had flipped in, I believe, his lower main. They found a crack in the timing belt. Didn't even know until they tried to run hot laps on Sunday. So had to pull the motor out, switch to Friday, and now Tinsley will get his opportunity.
Green flag out, chance to see where these lap times come down to. 31G of Dominic Gordon. Starts some time singing his praises. He's in the 11-second bracket at 11.9. Terry Nichols in the 1P, you see on your screen. They're still giving him a good long run out there. A lot of green flag laps in these hot lap sessions for the drivers. Nobody able to overtake Seavey yet. Gavin Miller going to give her the old shot. He is 3rd right now. So Seavey, Park, Miller, Montgomery, and Gordon. The lights on, checkered flag out, and hot lap session over. Get ready for Dirt Draft Hot Lap session number 7, but first we got to take a time out. More coming back from the 39th annual Chili Bowl Nationals, powered by NOS Energy Drink here on FloRacing. Turn the Bull Pink night at the Hard Rock Tulsa qualifying night here at the Expo Raceway, SageNet Center, Tulsa, Oklahoma. It's a colorful night here at the Bowl as heat races 7 and 8 roll down onto the racetrack for Dirt Draft Hot Laps. You guys aren't tinkering at all, are you? I'm watching.
This is the one I'm watching right here.
Okay. All right. I won't
Feel
ask
like
you to give up
I feel like I
why,
have a
but
guy that's in a good starting spot. Very, very low key. I'm hoping he looks solid right here. I'll lock it in and we'll be good.
one of those sneaky, little deeper on the roster picks, maybe.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, somebody
All right.
that has some good shootout success, I think. Picked up at least one heat race win.
Yep.
Yeah, just hoping that it's somebody that flew under the radar a little bit on some people's dirt drafts and coming across fairly cheap that's going to allow me to take my dog, Logan Seavey.
All right. Well, we got cars in the track. That's the 77R Robbie Smith. Speaking of guys that won here, Robbie Smith. All right.
And the Tom Kaysen Racing Ripper with an S-Slinger.
DeLand, Florida, from the 4th starting spot. There's Sunshine, Tyler Courtney. He'll be rolling off 6th out of Indianapolis, Indiana, running the Silva Motorsports team car to Kyle Larson here at the event.
And much to his mom, Shelly's pleasure, not in his brother Taylor's heat race. Taylor Courtney coming back.
But it was awfully close.
Awfully close. Yeah, they drew
that
pretty
was
close.
Not much away. In the 56, that is Mark Chisholm. Chisholm was originally from Wyoming. He's now listed as Springfield, Illinois. So no longer can I call him Wyoming's greatest midget racer. Hate it when those things change.
He's got the Link Toyota power plant. There is Michael Pickens, 8-time championship A-main starter, back here at the Chili Bowl.
Darren, do you get to be Michigan's greatest midget racer? Is that how that works?
Man, I don't know.
Are you the only one carrying the Michigan flag for Parade of States?
I think so this year.
All right.
Last year, I didn't even make it in the building long enough to carry the flag. So, yeah, we left early because them big snowstorms and all that. But yeah, I think this year I think I'm the only guy. So, yeah, I would have had it last year too. But yeah, I think I'm the only guy.
You know, a lot of people are going to remember you from your dad, or at least know the family lineage there, with Dayton Ida being a fantastic racer in all the different organizations and sprint car series that are up in that area. What's he up to now? Retired, helping you along with your career, or what?
No, he's still, well, he's retired from racing, but he's working his day job, and yeah, he comes with us when he can, and we enjoy having him. Yeah, he helps me out a ton. It's nice to have somebody you can lean on that's been in those situations before and that can just give you advice along the way.
Get a look at the Team Jack Foundation, number 22 of Don Dowd Jr., Lincoln, Nebraska. Our condolences to Jack's family. Jack just passed away. Don's sneaky good, though, in that race car. He has had some surprising moments. One of the all-time greats in 360 wing racing in the Midwest.
I mean, he starts 5th in Heat Race 7.
Heat Race 7's got a lot of wild cards in it. There could be a lot of people that Clinton Boyles was alluding to in that.
Oh, yeah. I think it might be this guy on the screen. I don't know. It just had a hunch.
Wout Hoffman's?
I don't even know how to say that person's name, let alone pick them on Dirt Draft. What do you mean?
I met his primary sponsor. I met the guys between Encore Builders the other day. Independent contractor, put a lot of bucks into trying to help Wout get up and going. Really nice people, too. So enthused for what he has been able to do since coming over from the Netherlands, and said, hey, will you say my name on the broadcast? Yeah, absolutely. So
we said his name several times in the shootout, running for Johnny V, too. Picked up, I believe, a heat and a qualifier win.
Think so.
So
don't hype him up too much. Jeez.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I?
Jeez, man.
Well, the guy starting right behind him is a really good race car, and we're getting a look at that again. That's Robbie Smith, and Smith has had some very fast moments. He's also had some very spectacular moments here in the arena, and that outside row is going to be fun.
Every year at the shootout, I feel like has so much speed, but also crashes in a big way. Never small, always big, but always has a ton of speed inside this building.
I remember it was either our first or second year doing the shootout where he hung one on the fence that took us half an hour to cut him down from.
Green flag is in the air. Dirt Draft Hot Lap session 7 of 9. This is heat race number 7. Let's go back to look at Wout Hoffman's.
Speed's picking up, it looks like, here in the arena. Let's get a look at Courtney, see where he comes in. First lap at speed for him is 4th fastest, and it's going to shuffle down after Frankie Guarini goes 11.851. There's Frankie. Talk about guys flying under the radar. That is a fast race car. Tyler Courtney up to an 11.712 here. CD, Courtney, Park, Guarini, and Miller. Courtney to the top of the speed charts. Guarini beats him right there after at 11.572.
Yeah, we're quickly. This race, you can always tell when it's in that transformation phase because we've clicked off several tenths quicker now as the checkered flag waves, and Frankie Guarini to the top of the board, 11.572.
Interesting too, Clinton. This is as dirty as our booth has gotten. Like,
yeah.
You've scraped the windows a couple of times now, but like early on in the night, this is as much clay as we've had sticking to the window early in this process.
Yeah, we need to tear off in a bad way on the Brian Kapinski Flow announcer's booth.
We need to come up with a large window tear off that we could just adhere, like a little adhesive.
Well, why would you do that when you got me to go clean it?
Well, you know, I don't want you working too hard now.
Wow, man.
I'd say he's going to have a long Saturday coming up.
Not much, but it's honest work.
All right, heat race 8 time. As you get a look at the 87, Justin Grant goes outside row number 1. Good starting spot for him.
Caleb, how's his hand doing? Oh, it was outside. I heard you try to say that's like my trademark thing, but
it's
back in the day, every guy did that. There was no left side arm guard. So every guy hung their arm out on the oil tank, on whatever's out there. And being a young kid, I just thought it was cool. Like, that's what the old school guys were so chill.
You were even doing it in the micro, though.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm not a left side door guy at all. Let's watch Macho Pickens in there work. We don't need a door to hide that.
Pickens on the gas, going to start 9th in heat race 8, so passing points could be aplenty for Pickens as you look at Ace McCarthy running once again for Tanner Thorson. Last night's prelim winner, and Ace trying to join him as a driver locked into the championship A main.
Pickens has got the fastest lap now at 11.524. See if Grant can sneak under that. Pickens goes 11.495. Grant 11.7 at the moment. See ya, Sam Johnson. Kokomo Joe 72. Does not make the top run of speed as Pickens, Grant, Guarini, Courtney, and Seavey now. There's Pickens trying to win hot laps. Although Grant gets him with a faster lap at 11.433 down at the very end. So Grant, Pickens, Guarini, Courtney, Seavey now 1 through 5. Johnson makes his way up to 6 quick with one more group to go.
Ace McCarthy in the top 10 as well. As we will go back upstairs, Chris Moore with Jace Park.
Yeah, thank you, Chris Wilner, here in the Johnny Herrera Racing Camp with Jace Park. Jace, you've made the Prelim A the past couple of years, including a 7th in 2023. What do you have to do to repeat that effort and maybe even get a little bit better?
I think we got to be smart. We got a good chance in the heat race. We start 7th in the 5th heat race, so I'm excited for tonight. I've been waiting all week to race, and it sucks watching all the racing and not being able to race. So it's our night, and we're gonna dig, and we've been watching all week, so we know what the track's gonna be like, and it's pretty wet out there for that hot lap session. So we'll see what track gives us, and we'll just keep hammering down.
How relieving is it? You go up, you draw a bad number. You know you're gonna start in the back of a heat race, then you find out you're not in one of the early ones. How relieving is that?
I mean, I wouldn't say it's a bad number. I mean, I feel like here I'd honestly rather come from the back. I feel like even at like the Tulsa Shootout, anytime I come from the back in the heat races, it's always a good thing, and just gives me some motivation I got past some cars here and make something happen.
All right, there you go, guys. Johnny Herrera's made the last 2 prelim A's, looking for 3 in a row and an A main start on Saturday.
He's got a good shoe in that car, that's for sure. We know what Jace Park can do.
One more group to go. Heat race number 9. We'll get a hot lap session unto their own out in the field.
It's Mark Daly, Brownsburg, Indiana native, and the Mark Daly Racing Spike with an S-Slinger. Car owner as well. And I believe last couple years worked with drivers like Cap Henry. He's going to go racing with Aiden Price next year as his driver. So getting the youngsters some opportunities.
Be a guy that Mr. Knight has taken on the All-Star Circuit of Champions.
Yeah.
That'll be fun. You excited for the tour?
Yeah, I'm excited to get going. Excited to get to a lot of new racetracks. Really excited for my first trip out to Central Pennsylvania. Go to Williams Grove and Lincoln and a lot of new places. Probably the race I'm most excited for is Bloomington, though. I like them short Indiana bull rings.
Should be a ton of fun for you as you get a look. Hayden Reinbold in the 19A out of Gilbert, Arizona on racetrack, who's been doing lots of sprint car racing himself. Reinbold starts inside row 3.
He's taking on the full-time USAC Sprint Car Tour this year for the first time, his rookie attempt. So he'll see a lot of the Indiana bull rings.
15J was on your screen. Now the 00P, that's Brock Elliott, California, Missouri native, going to start 9th in the final heat race of the night.
I believe Brock was your POWRi West Midget champion this year. Picking that up for his first time.
One of the Avanti windows and doors cars.
Cameron LaRose. They've had several bullets in the chamber here at the Chili Bowl. Justin Peck, JJ Yaley. Cameron going on Friday. And the 14J, there's TJ Smith, former Tulsa Shootout champion, and one of the drivers, as I mentioned earlier in the show, originally slated to run for 6-8 Motorsports and found a home with Jody Rosenboom. Jody pulling his seat out, saying, TJ, I think you're a little bit better in this building than maybe me, so I'd love for you to run the car.
Jody on the wrenches, though.
Oh, yeah.
Good mechanic. So see what he can do for them. In the 17B, Ryan Bickett, Ramona, South Dakota driver that we've seen for multiple years here at the Bowl. And there is a guy that has had a very level of success within this building. It is the 5U Trifecta Motorsports car of Michael Facinto out of California.
Yeah, finished 4th last year in the prelim, or 4th on the championship night, 4th also in his prelim, but 3-time A-main starter. He is always a threat, and those Trifecta cars are good. They need a little luck this week after Zach Dom's prelim night, but Kyle Spence got it back yesterday, and we'll see what Michael Facinto has as you take a look at Hayden Reinbold getting up to speed. In our final dirt draft hot lap session of preliminary action here, the 2025 edition of the Chili Bowl, powered by NOS Energy Drink.
Bouncing forward is the 2P of LaRose working his way up there. So far, nobody has cracked the top 5 in speeds. Elliott, the 000P. Or if you sound it out phonetically, oop. Cinto in the 5. Tear off rip and forward he runs. Reinbold is 6th quick at the moment you see him on the screen. And that'll be enough for all of them. All right, guys, make your last tinkers. Dirt draft hot laps are over. Chris is going into his screen to do things.
Mm-hmm. Stand by.
Clinton is...
That's where we're going.
All right. Darren, you doing any of the fantasy stuff? No?
Yeah, I do a little bit of dirt draft. I had my lineup set before I came down here.
Yeah,
confident, huh?
You're not going to tinker at all.
Not even going to touch it. I love it.
All right, let's kick things up top. Blake Anderson, Santino Ferrucci took quite the ride. What are you seeing over in the Abacus pit?
They have the Porta Power out, and they are sawing away, grinding away, trying to get this car fixed. And Santino, quite the impressive effort from the Abacus team here.
Look, if anyone's going to get this done, it's going to be these boys. They worked hard. This car is so good. I was just out following Logan, and, man, you race once a year. I have the talent to do this, just the incoming rates of other cars and other people getting crossed up and hitting the berm. I mean, it's difficult. I mean, it's no one's fault other than my own. I feel so bad because now I got these guys scrambling after what could have been an A-main night for us. So, No, like I said, I got faith in this team, and like I said, I can't thank Webco. And honestly, the reason I'm okay right now is this Ultra Shield seat with the sharp insert, man. I mean, most wrecks like that, you have a full concussion, and I am 100%.
Well, glad to see you're all right. Impressive. We've just been watching the team, guys. They got about, at one point, I counted 11 guys with hands on the card back here at the front end, the back end, everywhere. And I walked up, and that front end shifted, the front clip shifted a couple inches over to the right, and they're getting her dialed. We'll see if they can get it done in time, though.
Yeah, we got guys from Spike Chassis. You see the Spike Chassis here? That's Derek Schwarber right there. He kind of runs and operates Spike Chassis, so he's a great guy to have. The guy straight in front of us is Kirk. He, manages the Abacus team and kind of heads it all up. You got T-Bone there talking with his hands. He's the kind of shock guru on the team. He, can handle everything shock needs repaired, and also a great mechanic. So guys all over the place just trying to get this, sort of back out. It looked like they were putting a new rear bumper on it, and away they will be able to go, hopefully.
Derek's kind of been leading the charge back here. They've had the chains out and the porta power out, and they were sawing and grinding away just a minute ago, and this thing looks a lot better than it even did 10 minutes ago when I got here.
The good thing is it's a midget, right? So we have front coils on this thing. We don't have a torsion rack that has torsion bars on the front of it. So it doesn't have to be absolutely perfect. You're going to get as close as you can, then you're going to re-square your front end to your motor plate. And as long as your front axle is squared to your motor plate, it doesn't really know a whole lot different as long as you're fairly close. It's not like your torsion rack can be twisted and all that and really mess up the geometry of your race car. So luckily for them, independent front suspension, and they can kind of, work off that and cheat a little bit and still be okay.
Great observation on that one as you get a look at all the goings on in the Flying A pit cam. Busy Friday afternoon here in the Expo, and got even busier for Ferrucci and the Abacus Racing team. Let's take a look. The Smart Modified is going to be on FloRacing. Catch every one of their asphalt races at the Florence Motor Speedway coming up on March the 1st. The Tour heading off to Anderson Motor Speedway on March the 5th. King of the Modifieds at South Boston, March 22. Rumble in Rougemont at Orange County Speedway, April 5. And the Hickory 100 at Hickory Motor Speedway coming up on April 12th. Every lap of the Smart Modified Tour you can find right here on FloRacing. We need to take a time out. Opening ceremonies are getting closer as you're watching our coverage of the 39th Annual Chili Bowl Nationals, powered by NOS Energy Drink, here on FloRacing.
Still has a chance. Look at this. He's got a good run up turn number 2. Horse, he'll want it in 99. He's got to go high here. We're going for the stripe. It's Dan Morris. He does it. He gets number 2.
Welcome to our world. A world of dirt, drift, and dodging fate. A world where all of motorsport collides. A world of digging deep, of grit, glory, and bitter defeat. Inhabited by the strong, the fearless, the barely sane. Welcome to our world. Welcome to the world of NOS.
In the market for custom race shirts? Struggling with who to call? Look no further. Impact Race Gear's team of top-notch artists at Next Level Printing make it easy to see that Impact Race Gear has the right combination for simply awesome race shirts. We provide shirts and merchandise for the entire motorsports industry, from late models to sprint cars to modifieds, dirt or asphalt. Just take a look at the top drivers and teams that trust Impact. And it doesn't take long to understand why Impact Race Gear is the easy choice. Be sure that your fans, sponsors, and supporters get the products they deserve. When you need the best, it's gotta be Impact Race Gear. Give us a call, 877-743-8337, or visit ImpactRaceGear.com to get started on your simply awesome race shirts.
Go harder, faster, stronger with Rod End Supply. Whether you are running industrial, farming equipment, or a race car, Rod End Supply has the assortment of rod ends, radius rods, and specialty products that will help you lead the field in performance. Our superior design means our rod ends last longer and perform better, giving you the edge on the track and saving you money. Contact Rod End Supply or order online today at rodendsupply.com. We don't just sell them, we race them. rodendsupply.com. Serving the racing community for over 30 years.
Hey race fans, have you set your Dirt Draft lineup yet? Dirt Draft is the fantasy racing app you can download right on your phone. Pick a team of 5 drivers within your $100,000 salary cap, and the better they do, the better you do. You earn points to spend in the Dirt Draft Speed Shop for all kinds of cool stuff, from t-shirts and hats, race tickets and pit passes, or even a season pass to FloRacing. New subscribers even get a free Dirt Draft t-shirt. Download the Dirt Draft app now from the Apple app or Google Play Store.
Back here at the Expo Raceway, we're in the SageNet Center just before opening ceremonies tonight here at the Chili Bowl Nationals, our 39th annual Chili Bowl Nationals, powered by NOS Energy Drink. Let's kick things down to the house for opening ceremonies.
So good. Scott, did you break the microphone?
Well, while they work through some technical difficulties. Mic check 1, 2. We're good here in the booth. We know that.
Yeah, we are.
We're working through opening ceremonies. The house will get it. They'll figure it out. They have a brand new PA system in here this year, too. It sounds good out there. You can actually hear them every once in a while as opposed to years past. So continual improvements being made here within the SageNet Center. 39 years. Things get better every single year, year in and year out. We've had absolutely fantastic racing. 83 cars in the building here tonight to get after it. Just 2 spots coming after tonight to Saturday's pole shuffle. And again, traditionally, end of the night tonight, we will have our trophy ceremony, and then they do the draw for the pole shuffle post the race night tonight. So the 10 drivers who will lock in will try to figure out where all they're going to be starting. Again, that traditionally comes at the end of the evening. We should be carrying that for you here live on FloRacing. We had a great night last night, Chris Wilner. You were off running around doing a bunch of things, and I'm sad you missed that A-main event, because I'll tell you what, that final lap between those 3 drivers coming to the end was incredible.
It really was. I'm sad I missed it being with you, Caleb, broadcasting it, but I'm not sad because I had the best view in the house up there with my friends from Hasty Bake, who sponsored last night's qualifying night, and getting to watch that duel between Ryan Bernal, Christopher Bell, and Tanner Thorson. I mean, nobody was on their feet that last lap, or nobody was sitting down. Everybody was on their feet that last lap. And Darren, I know you were watching too as well. Watching 3 talented race car drivers on a nice racetrack with multiple lanes, and to see the smiles afterwards, I mean, that was the price of admission right there.
Yeah, that's what it's all about, right? Honestly, the thing that surprised me most was that Ryan Bernal kept going. I thought he was going to have it wadded down here on the front stretch a couple times, and then when they all piled up down there and coming out of 2, that was a maneuver I don't know if I would have been willing to take.
If you're watching any of the FloRacing content that's coming down our social media channels and stuff, a lot of the drivers talked about that in the post-race interviews, that, you know, that front straightaway started to build that little ledge up on it that would suck you in and almost turn you upside down a time or two. Bernal addressed that himself, and I think Bell at one point said, yeah, I'm surprised that you hadn't flipped before that had gone through and happened. Coming down into that very last lap, and we're joined, by the way, Darren Knight in the booth with us for a little while here into the heat races. I think all 3 drivers didn't even run their best lap on that 3 wide at the very end. I think they all left a little bit extra on the table.
Yeah, I think too, even Christopher kind of got caught in the middle there in 1 and 2 and you know, got run through the slick, and then obviously Tanner not running the top almost to perfection, but it was just enough. And boy, but that's why it's never over till it's over, right? What Ryan Bernal did in 3 and 4 on the bottom just to get by Bell was spectacular.
I think if all 3 of them armchair quarterbacking, and we may have a chance to let them armchair quarterback for you a little later on in the program. We got some really cool content coming up tonight, but all 3 of them would have said, Tanner, I probably could have rolled the top a little bit better. Bernal clearly missed the bottom just enough, and given situation where Bell was, where Ryan came up, couldn't quite maneuver or move around enough to really slide Tanner without cleaning out Ryan down to the bottom of the racetrack. It was an interesting dynamic between the 3 of them coming to it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think also, too, you heard even in Victory Lane and then again post-race in the press conference, Christopher Bell smiling for finishing 3rd. And it just shows you how much fun he had coming back and for the first time in a decade, not winning on Thursday, but still an awesome race and really sets the tone for the rest of the week for our final 2 days.
Well, things continue on here. Opening ceremonies coming up in just a little bit here at the SageNet Center.
So, Darren, you have one more night to kind of think about things before eating some soup tomorrow. What's the anticipation like for a Saturday run? Obviously, it'd be perfect scenario. You'd be locked in, but because you're not, you get extra track time and time to really make us talk about you a lot tomorrow, right?
Yeah, probably maybe rewatch that Jason McDougal special you guys
there
did a couple years ago. Maybe watch
do some studying.
Times.
The soup.
I don't know. I'm just going to try and go out there and gas it as hard as I can and try and make Stephanie Linder proud.
I like it. Steph loves her drivers, so that would be a good thing, right?
Oh, yeah. You got to be on the gas to impress Steph.
How far have you climbed soup before? Have you made a decent-sized run, and not even just necessarily here, but you ever done a C to B and A in local competition or anything like that?
I've come from back of the B to like 5th in the A before over at US 24 in a micro. I think I've made it through 2 mains before at shootout. I've never made it from C to B to A at shootout or anything though. My first year here, I thought I was going to be in a good spot. Started mid-pack in an E-main and had a really good car and drove up to 3rd, and then the guys in front of me got together racing for the lead, not even a transfer spot, and took all 3 of us out. I've never made a big run through the soup, but things can change.
I don't know. Back of the pack in a micro at US 24 up to 5th in the A is really something. That that passed a lot of cars that night, didn't you?
Yeah, that place is it's fun when they have it right. Jim and Deb Wood got that place really good the past couple of years, and yeah, I love to be on the hammer. So.
Well, that is the voice of Darren Nida. He's going to be with us here into the heat races. We need to kick things down to the house for opening ceremonies.
Thank you, Scotty. Sorry about the delay, folks. Before we start tonight, we have a very special presentation. Earlier this year, a Bixby firefighter lost his life, and the local fire departments responded to the emergency, and the firefighter's name was Nick Guthrie. Nick Guthrie. He was part of the Bixby Fire Department. There was a special recognition for Kiefer Mounds and the Bixby Fire and Sapulpa Fire. Behind me are family members and friends. His 2 children are standing over to the side here. This is a very emotional moment for everybody. If you could please just join us with a moment of silence. Father, we're so thankful for the life of Nick and for what he meant. He was a firefighter for over 20 years, Lord. He gave everything he had to his job and to his community. He's got a beautiful family here left behind, and we just ask that you'd bless them, that you'd keep them safe as these young people grow up, Lord, that they would be just be honored by their father's memory, and that you would the circle of friends that he had would continue to raise him up and honor the job that he did. So if we could, let's give Nick a round of applause, please. So on the side here are Blair. Blair, you want to wave your hand? And Bryce. These are his 2 children. So God bless you guys, and know that your dad is loved and remembered very much so. Okay, one more time. These are some of his co-workers and friends behind us here. So let's hear it for our firefighters and our EMS. Thank you, guys. On Friday nights, we are honored and privileged to honor our military and our veterans. In front of me, I have 6 representatives with the flags of each of the military branches. So if you, what I'm going to ask you to do is sit down for a second. And as I call your branch of the military, would you please stand up so that we can recognize you? All right, I'm a Marine myself, but if you are or have served in the United States Army, would you please stand? Thank you. If you have served in the United States Marine Corps, please stand. If you have served in the United States Navy, please stand. If you have served in the United States Coast Guard, please stand. If you have served in the newest and the smallest of them all, the Space Force, please stand. Did I forget anybody? Oh, of course, the taxi service of the military, United States Air Force. I can say that because I'm a Marine. All right, now would you please stand? And we honor America on Friday night by saying the Pledge of Allegiance. You all know it. Please put your hand over your heart. And let's pledge to our country. You ready? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you so much. We are installing a new president in just a couple of days, so I thought that might get a roar out of the crowd. All right, let's pray. Father, we're so thankful for this day. We're thankful for the life of Nick. We're thankful for his family, and we just pray that you would bless his family and just guide them, help the friends to stay near and close as the years go by. Lord, we thank you for this place, for all the memories that are made here. We thank you for the incredible racing that we've already seen this week. We ask you to continue to bless, keep everyone safe, and just help us to honor you in all that we do. Lord, we just thank you for the privilege we have to live in this amazing country. We thank you for our new president. We thank you for the new vision that we have for our country. We just ask you now to bless this place in a very special way. And all of God's people said, amen. Thank you. Thanks, Scotty.
Jim, one hell of a job. Thank you so much, sir. And on behalf of all these folks, our armed forces representatives here, the family of the fallen, and our newly elected president, how about we make a big roar and a big welcome from Sutter, California, Miss Amanda Gray, for our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Miss Amanda Gray, give her a big round of applause.
Take things back here in the booth. Opening ceremony is complete. Amanda Gray learned everything she knows about singing from Blake Anderson. True story. He proved that last night in the after party. Speaking of last night at the after party, Blake was there along with Mr. Sleepy Time T, Chris Moore, who went to bed early. Gentlemen,
I wasn't listening to you, Caleb. I try not to.
I'm sure you don't. That's why you went to bed early.
Well, now you know why. I get enough of you during the day.
Yeah, barely. Barely. Guys, ones to watch. What do you think?
Yeah, thank you, Caleb. Obviously, a lot of the big names tonight, Blake, but those are easy, and Earl Hoon's not on tonight, so we don't have to talk about the big names right away. Tyler Edwards. I like where Tyler Edwards is at. He's an 8-time prelim A main starter, ran 4th in 2012. That was a long time ago, but I think he's got some magic left in him here 12, 13 years later. I also like Wesley Smith. He's a 5-time prelim A main starter, finished 8th back in 2020. So some guys that have had good success here in this building on their prelim night. They got their work cut out for them, as we talked about, a lot of heavy hitters here tonight, but I think we got some guys with chances.
I got a guy that's a heavy hitter that I feel like a lot of people are going to overlook, but he's with a good team in Keith Kunz Motorsports. Gavin Miller has been so impressive to me. Full-time with USAC and Extreme Outlaws this year. Picked up some wins with Extreme Outlaws. He's got a USAC win on his resume as well. He's very impressive. Keep an eye on the 97 car. He's going to be flying. The other guy, not a whole lot of midget experience, but he's with a good team, with the Bison team, Hard 8, and he is an IMCA stock car ace, one of the best stock car drivers in the country, Jeffrey Abbey. I am excited to watch the Texan run a midget.
We got a lot of video bombers back
We
here.
do.
Guys, did you count how many jumped in here behind us and
Yeah,
waved?
we're at 7.
It was
7.
Yeah.
They're almost a third of the way to Earl Hoon's video bombs last week at the shootout.
That's going to be a tough record to break, though. Where is Earl? He's not behind us. That's all that matters.
Thank goodness. We're having fun up here at the top of the ramp. We're about to have fun out on the racetrack. Coming up, heat races here at the Chili Bowl Nationals, powered by NOS Energy Drink, live on FloRacing.
Since 2009, we have been working hard to give our customers a real advantage. Engineering starts by designing components using advanced 3D modeling software. We then manufacture prototypes, test them, race them, and refine them. Ultimately, turning these prototypes into better suspension components that make your race car faster. From concept to completion, we do it all under one roof in Brownsburg, Indiana. We take pride in every step of the process, from initial concept to putting the shipping label on your order. Our dedicated staff of racers is here to help you win. Everything we sell is backed by the best customer service in the industry.
Who's it gonna be? Evan Dissian steals it here tonight.
Sports has been providing the motorsports industry with the finest transportation equipment for over 35 years, offering an extensive range of new and pre-owned motor coaches, toter homes, race trailers, car haulers, and more. Flying A is proud to be a premier dealer for Renegade, Show Hauler, Intech, T&E, Bravo, C-Tech, and more. Visit FlyingAMotorsports.com to view current and on-order inventory.
Look at that. Clinton out doing work here, making sure we have a nice, beautiful, I don't know, windows to watch from. Although, you know, we can only see 3/4 of the racetrack depending on whether we're standing or sitting in here inside the
This is
Brian Kapinski announcer's booth. We're at the bottom of turns 3 and 4.
Yeah, it's Clinton's part-time job. It's called Coco Super Wash. Told him I'd throw him a 20.
I think it's a heck of a plan. So.
Yeah. I mean, look, he's even got the nice, like, holes in the bottle. Give us a nice little spray.
That self-made hole, took the pin, just gauging the top. Now hosing her down. That'd be great.
Attaboy.
From the Up Top shop, thank you, Dean Mills. By the way, Dean wanted us to pass along, thanks for watching in to former non-wing sprint car racer Danny Pollock. Danny is watching from the hospital tonight, but he's tuned in on FloRacing. So, Danny, thanks for tuning in.
Yeah.
Hope you start feeling better, and hopefully our broadcast provides you some entertainment as you heal up and get well.
100%. Heat race number 1 of 9 here on Hard Rock Tulsa, qualifying night on the racetrack. Glenn Stiers out of Oswego, Ontario, the pole sitter. Joshua Lewis to his outside. The youngster, Cale Coons in the dueling 63 will start third to his outside. Andy Pake in the 64. Ryan Timms, Flying Ryan inside row 3 to his outside. Kyle Jones in the 16R. Josh Most and Brody Wake in row 4. Sam Henderson and Darren Pittman going to come from 10th here in this first heat race.
Drivers are scoring points here in the heat race is what they're doing. You're looking for your top 40 in points after the heat races that'll move on to the qualifiers. It's 100 points to win the heat race from the pole. You get an extra 5 points from every position on back that you would get the heat race win. 105 for second, 110 for third. We will keep you up to date as best we can on the scoring matrix as we go. However, if you have got Twitter, X, whatever the heck you want to call it these days, Wikipedia is the place to do it. It's at Wikipedia_. He has a wonderful heat race lineup and passing point table that you can watch during the course of this, and is good about keeping as close to accurate real-time point updates as you can. The one thing Brian doesn't always get, although he is damn good at it, is official starting spots or penalties that have been levied. So follow it there. Heat race number 1, Chris Wilner on the track and ready to roll.
Glenn Stiers going to pace the field for heat race number 1. 8 laps of distance, 10 cars were underway. As they dive into turns 1 and 2, that one's not going to stick, and I'll be curious to see who is the culprit. Was not complete side by side on the start of the race as they get doubled back up. We may have a new front row, and we do.
Merry Christmas, Cale Coons.
No kidding. And again, original points go from the original drop of the green flag starting position. So Cale Coons getting a gift here, and he will go 3-1 without even turning a lap. So now it's Cale Coons and Joshua Lewis on the front row. Heat race number 1 underway. Look out, here comes Glenn Stiers hiking the front end up, looking for second on Coons, who got tight in 1 and 2. They bang wheels, and Ryan Timms says 2 for 1. Thank you very much. Move Timms on lap 1 up to second. Your leader, though, Joshua Lewis. And the caution flag waves. Kyle Jones involved. The 92M of Josh Most, and then 1 on the outside. I believe that's Pake.
Yeah, Pake 64.
This setting up really nicely for Ryan Timms, who 5-2, and now with a single file start in and behind Lewis, scoring points early. As we're going to get a look at the IBOC replay, here's how it went down in the first corner.
Oh.
Kyle Jones just kind of overcooked it into the side of Pake there.
Saw the rear tires lock up, motor shuts off, and
got his Nerf bar over the left front, and that was all. They were stuck.
As they untangle the race cars, Darren Knight is still with us. Darren, you wait all day, you draw. What are the nerves like thinking about the process of when they drop the green flag and trying to make sure you go where you need to be?
Yeah, it's intense, and you really don't know what you're doing until you get down to the flag stand, and from there on out, it's really just instinct. I know Darren Pittman made a big move here in turn 1 on the first lap to move himself up 3 or 4 spots, and 10-5 already. That's going to be a big move.
Absolutely. Couple gifts, and then a really strong opening lap for Darren Pittman. So, former World of Outlaw champion and multi-time Chili Bowl A-main starter already. You know, Matt Wood has the opportunity to do something pretty special with his fleet of race cars and lock 5 of 6 into the show on Saturday. Darren Pittman, their last bullet in the chamber. It has been quite the Chili Bowl for the California-based crew, as the lights will come off and 7 laps still to go in heat race number 1. Joshua Lewis, Ryan Timms, Glenn Stiers, and Cale Coons, your top 4. Back under the green flag we go. Single file the top 3 or 4 as Ryan Timms got a really good restart. He is going to just hound the inside of Joshua Lewis. Lewis up the racetrack. Ryan Timms with the drag race into turn number 1. And on lap number 2, Ryan Timms takes the lead, and he will start to pull away in a hurry. Meanwhile, Glenn Stiers in the back end of Joshua Lewis, outside in, and there goes Glenn Stiers to P2, and here comes Coons coming with him. physical Clint Boyles.
Yeah, definitely early in this heat race, you got to get every inch you can, and you got a lot of movers and shakers for an early heat race. Darren Pittman trying to be the next guy on the way through.
Pittman still sitting that 5th spot, but he's going to hound Joshua Lewis to the inside and easily squeak his way through. So move Pittman now 10-4. Kyle Jones trying to rebound, but Pittman's not done. He's got the youngster Cale Coons in his sights. Coons going to roll the bottom here in 1 and 2. Joshua Lewis going backwards and little 2-for-1 for Kyle Jones. Drove it in real deep, but contact here with Brody Wake. They're absolutely elbows up here in heat race number 1. But the laps are winding down and the caution flag waves. As they came to the white, it's Joshua Lewis, things going bad to worse. And the 64 of Andy Paik, second time he's been involved. So Kyle Jones rebounds from the tail to 6. Pittman sitting 4th. Clint, I would think, just by the look of that race car, he has an opportunity to go maybe 10-3 or maybe 10-2.
Yeah, I really need to 10-3 here. That'd be 121 points, only 109 for 10-4. So that's a lot of work for 109 points.
Yeah.
You gotta nail this restart. He's tried to go underneath Cale Coons 3 or 4 times into turn 1 and loses the left front and gets tight. He did a really good job getting up into the 4th spot by going outside in, and I think that needs to be his go-to move here to have a shot at getting by Cale Coons. Cale also doing a very good job at not, making a mistake down there and opening up the door for Darren.
So they continue to work on getting Joshua Lewis's car pushed back off. Meanwhile, Ryan Timms sitting at a 120 if he can just hang on these last couple of circuits.
Hey, Chris Wilner.
Yes, Blake
I got
Anderson.
a little nugget for you.
Yeah, what's that?
Josh Most out there in the 92M, a former prelim winner here. But did you know the nugget with that prelim win?
No.
We used to have a rookie night where all the rookies had to run, and Josh Most won the last rookie night, I believe 2007 it was.
Wow. 2007 rookie night. Those were pretty cool rookie nights.
Yeah, they were. You kind of had to earn your way into running the Chili Bowl.
Oh, how far we've come. 2007, man, that is a long time ago. Doesn't feel like it. But here we go, back under the green flag. 2-lap shootout in heat race 1 as Timms pulls away from Stiers. Coons has a back bumper full of Darren Pittman, and not too far back is Brody Wake, but through turns 3 and 4 are all single file right off the bottom. White flag is out. There's a look at Kyle Jones trying to get around in. Oh, one upside down, big time, and that's Most. Blake Anderson with the commentator curse, unfortunately.
Man,
I'll make my way right down there.
Yeah, that was a big-time flip down the front straightaway. Safety crews on the scene.
Most of it with the car inverted, cage side down on it, which is scary, but got the quick confirmation. You saw Josh moving around in the cockpit. That was great to see.
Brian Ward is on the scene for the first time here in heat race action. Brian, what can you tell us?
I don't see a whole lot of initial damage here to the race car. Josh going to climb out of the top of the race car, just has steering wheel sitting on the hood. Taking a quick once over. Well, there's some good left rear damage. The left side tire is smashed into the torsion arm. And we will get a word in here with Josh. A wild one there coming towards the finish. What did you see or feel coming down the front straightaway?
It's just tight racing tonight. I don't know, got caught up in somebody's mess trying to come from the back. Just one of them deals that happen, I guess.
I didn't see any terrible damage to the race car. Did you get a glance at it all when you climbed out?
Yeah, I don't think it's that bad. I think we'll get her back out there. Got a long road tonight. She's pretty hammer down.
Guys, hammer down racetrack, and Josh will go make some repairs.
Top of that car looks relatively good, though. Eibach replay, and here it is, and that's what I'm talking about, is most of your hits on the top of the cage, but it seems like the halo area stayed well intact.
I almost spun around like a top there on the top cage, but good to see him okay. Just tight quarters, and Darren, I know you've been plugged into this heat race, Darren Nida, and when it's locked down like this, I mean, just how aggressive do you have to be? And obviously those spaces close up.
Yeah, you really got to get up on it here. Darren Pittman, I hope he makes a big move here for the sake of my dirt draft lineup. Clinton said, I think it was 120 if he gets to third. Tim's has got me sitting good, but if Pittman can just get one more, I'll be a lot happier with my
Pittman's
lineup.
at 109 as he sits, and we go to 121 if he picks the spot up.
Both
so.
are still great point-scoring runs.
We'll see what happens. Who's aggressive? Green flag back in the air with 2-lap shootout. As we follow Darren Pittman behind Coons, unable to get underneath in turns 1 and 2. Is going to set him up here in turn 3 and 4. Coons maybe a little bit off the bottom, open the door a little bit, not this time by. White flag is out for Ryan Timms. Darren Pittman looking for one more spot, trying to keep pace with Ryan Timms, but off of 4. Timms is going to lead and win heat race number 1. Steyer's second, Coons third. Darren Pittman 10-4 for 109. Kyle Jones, a good rebound for him, finishes in the 5th spot. So 120 points for Ryan Timms. The benchmark has been set here in heat race action.
That's a really solid benchmark to go. Your averages for for your Friday night, typically 74.9 will get you into the qualifier. 92.6 makes the top 24, which is the inverts for the qualifier. Last year, it took 80 points to make the qualifier and 93 to make the invert. So that's kind of your average, your ballpark range for what you're looking for. 2 drivers well in and well into the invert, and Timms and Pittman, as we'll get ready for our second of 9 heat races here tonight. Final heat races for this.
don't say that.
Yeah, sorry, bud.
Cannot believe it.
Sorry,
Where did
buddy.
time go?
Well, it's spent a lot here because we've been on the air for, I think, between the shootout and the Chili Bowl, about 85 hours now.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. About.
Yeah. That's nothing. Well, as we welcome heat race number 2 coming down the ramp, we will go back up to the top of the ramp. Chris Moore with a K1 Race Gear interview.
Yeah, our first heat race winner of the week, Ryan Timms. Ryan, when you get out there early like that, track's as heavy as it is it more important to be more aggressive or more patient?
You definitely got to be aggressive. You can't waste any time, and you just got to get up through there as quick and as fast as you can, even if it means making some people mad. So feeling really confident in the car right now. Bo's got me dialed, and still could be a little better in places, so I'll let him know what's up, and then we'll see how we go in the qualifier.
All right, good luck.
Thank you.
There you go, Ryan Timms. A good start to the night, 5-1 right off the bat.
That's right. 120 will be a good opening benchmark for heat race action.
We're going to shuffle more drivers in and out here.
We are. Let's get through this lineup first.
Yeah, Alex Midkiff and Colton Garris are on the front row of this one with Chase McDermott and Eric Weber. Cole Murray and Ray Brewer in row 3. Kenny Johnson and Luke Hall, row number 4. And the 5th row is Justin Bates and Jeff Schindler. 10 cars, 8 laps, more points on the line to try to lock in 2 qualifiers coming up later on in the program as we welcome Mitchell Moles back into the broadcast booth. You did good enough yesterday. You got the invite back today, Mitchell. I like it.
7th place finish yesterday. Nothing to hang your head on.
Yeah, no, not too bad. I guess we'll see. I think it's sold out. That's why I'm in here. They're sold out. There's not one place for me to sit in the stands.
You just wanted to hang with Clinton again. It's all
all
good.
right. Yeah.
We understand it.
It's all good.
It's either that or Clinton bribed you.
Hey, what'd you think of Hayden so far today? Hot laps look pretty good?
So far, so good. I feel like he's got a pretty good heat race. TJ Smith and Michael Facenter on the outside. I think they start 2nd and 4th, and I think he starts a little deeper. I feel like that's a really good judge, especially Michael Facenter. He does pretty well in this building typically, and I've told him that's probably the guy I would try and watch what he's doing because he'll have a good idea where to be.
At his heat race number 9, TJ Smith does start 2nd. Facento starts 4th. Hayden Reinbold starts 5th, your teammate over in your camp. Here in this one, this is set up really well for the inside row number 1 of Midkiff and McDermott to get out, rabbit, and see what happens. However, got to run the race, got to find out how it's going to go down. We'll get them all set up and ready to go green, hopefully, this next time by. As of right now, everybody make the call?
Is Midkiff the one that took the titanium arms off of the car that Briggs crashed and it's on his car tonight?
Yeah.
Wow. I did see that. Good point.
Stevie straightened him out for him, and I think he's going to see if he can get a heat race win with him.
I think they were originally in the trash.
So we are missing 2 cars out of this lineup. Take note of that. Midkiff and McDermott are starting in the spots they normally would be. We're off and running to the green and slapping the wall out front. That's Colton Garris. Gathers it back together really fight in that race car to try to get her around, as it is McDermott getting underneath Midkiff on lap number 1 and setting sail on the field. He's for third between Brewer and Johnson, as Luke Hall trying to slice his way back forward.
Track's starting to widen out just a little bit. We saw a couple drivers really trying to roll almost the middle here and trying to move some of that material and get that worked in, and you just saw Hall do a nice job, except Hall got really tight up there on the top.
And we saw that a lot in his hot lap session as well. Hall was having hammering it, having a real hard time getting the car to rotate.
Underwear check on the 46 of Kenny Johnson.
He got her. He's handling. See if it happens again through 1 and 2. It doesn't. 5 laps down and 3 to go right now for Chase McDermott, who compared to the rest of the field is making this look real easy.
Yeah, just an 8-lap test session for Chase McDermott. 11.626, so not the fastest we've seen here today, but certainly doing a nice job in that car as you continue to watch this battle here. Luke Hall trying to track down Kenny Johnson for third. They may run out of time, though. White flag already out, and Kenny just hiking the front end up.
A lot of drivers really struggling to get the feel. One guy who didn't, Chase McDermott, adds 110 points to his accolades going forward. McDermott gets the W over Midkiff. Kenny Johnson with scratches. He started up a roll, so that's 5-3 for him. Hall also had a scratch in front of him, so that is 6-4. And Colton Garris in the 5th spot.
Yeah, so 6-4, 5-3 are on the 86 to 89 point marks. The average cutoff, just to make the qualifiers low, it's 74.9. So, I mean, you basically just can't go backwards, and you should be okay. Now, it's when you get to the invert, 92.5. That's going to be pretty tight with several, I know, tiebreakers may. Typically around when it's that high, tiebreakers come to effect.
1 to 2 is 90 is that cutoff is the difference between starting first and finishing second.
Yep.
So that puts you right on the edge, be right up front in one of your qualifiers. And at that point in time as well, you may not be able to get enough point out of your qualifier to really make a big impact. You're still scraping at the back of the main event. But it's all to be determined after a little bit, because we still have another 7 heat races here to go as you get a look at the NOS Energy Drink ramp cam. Ace McCarthy wandering off his concrete block and moseying down.
Always know where Ace is. He's got the cowboy hat on every time he's here.
Up top we go. K1 Race Gear interview with Blake.
Yeah, Chase, good job out there. Track a lot different. It's still coming along, though. We talked in after hot laps how heavy it was and wet, but 110 points, that'll do good. Is that maybe a little bit of a sense of relief?
Yes, the heat race is definitely the most stressful race of the week, and 110 points, that's all we could do there, so we just had to make sure we capitalized on the start, and I knew that it was probably a possibility that the guys in front of me would get tight, so just got to capitalize on that, which we were able to, and we got some work to do on the car, but we did everything we could there, so we'll go back to the pits and work on it a little bit more for the qualifier.
We got a visitor too. We got Bell's here. Chase, he was third in his prelim a year ago for the driver that is a 3-time Badger champ.
Always a good time when Bell is up at the top of the ramp, because that means Chase has done real well, and always good to see her here at the Chili Bowl. Mitchell Moles joining us. You've been here all week. You didn't do any more duck hunting?
Nope, just 1 day's worth was enough for me. It's pretty freaking cold around here.
Did you have to clean all the ducks?
Yeah, no, I made Tanner do that.
Yeah.
Okay. I actually raced the next day, so I kind of had it planned out. Where
there you go.
I got to go to bed. You guys got to handle this.
Good choice.
Yeah. Here's your lineup for heat race number 3. Austin Nye, the Hoosier in the 21K for Corey Kruzman on the pole, who's outside. Ted Tyler Edwards in the 56E. Andrew Felker in the 11A on inside row number 2. Donovan Peterson to his outside. Peace Urbanowski and Curtis Jones make up row number 3. Row 4, Rowdy Kyle Busch in his Chili Bowl debut. To his outside, Reese Womack with Kyle Steffens coming from 9th here in heat race number 3. Clinton, expectations if you're Kyle Busch. Just get 8 clean laps in and see what happens?
Yeah, if you can get to 3rd, I think you got to be really happy with that. I mean, but any progress forward is good. So, yeah, I think you're looking to get up to 5th. 4th is decent, 3rd is good. I think that's how you'd set your expectations here.
Remember, getting his first laps, did not make practice on Sunday, so had about 5 or 6 laps in hot laps, and then here we go for 8 laps of the most important race of your week.
At least he's in good stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
Great engines.
Great engines, great
Big Al
chassis.
working on it.
Yeah.
It's worth a lot right now.
You're set.
And Big Al had all week to watch this racetrack. You know he's got that thing dialed in.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be tough to beat Tyler off this front row, I think. Just, he's got a lot of laps this year that he doesn't normally have.
Coming to green, Austin 9, Tyler Edwards, your front row in heat race number 3. Oh boy, Austin 9 up the hill, and that could have been, you're right, a big
Look at
time.
Kyle Busch. He's already up to 4th. Absolutely plowed his way along the bottom past some cars.
There goes Andrew Felker here for 2nd. Going to get underneath Tyler Edwards, and Edwards locks it up, collects Kyle Busch.
A lot of them. Parking lot.
Oh, man, you can't park here in turn 2, but you're right, Kyle. That's Kyle Steffens involved. Urban Oski in the 19U there to the right of your screen. And Tyler Edwards, I thought he was going to keep it going.
Wow. What a deal.
You're right. He had a heck of a start, Clinton. Kyle did.
Yeah, I could not have asked him to do any better on that start. And we'll get a look at our iBox Springs instant replay. And Tyler Edwards in the white 56 is the one to keep your eye on. Just kind of overcooks it in behind Felker. And to avoid hitting Andrew, he spins himself out and collects everyone behind him. It wasn't like, you know, Tyler, I don't think did anything wrong other than maybe just entered the corner too fast and stalled it trying to not run over Andrew.
Coming at you on the speed shot here. Oh, even a little farther back in the field, issues too with Donovan Peterson.
And quick little update for you guys. Just walk back to Santino Ferrucci's pit. They're actually rolling the 16 car to the staging area right now. So it looks like he will make the call on heat race number 5. They got the left down tune fixed pretty good. The right side's still a little bent, but looks much better than it did about an hour ago.
That's yeoman's effort for the whole Abacus crew. They had their work cut out for them.
I was over there a minute ago right before I came down here, and it was we were porter powering and pushing some stuff around, and there was some work that needed to be done, but those guys are good at what they do, and sounds like they got it done.
Yeah, that's impressive. That was a big ride for Santino Ferrucci for just joining us here on Flow. Basically, right off the jump of the green flag in his hot lap session, got over the right rear and put it in the fence.
Lots of content in the video of Santino crashing over on Flow social media pages. So FloRacing on social media, you can see Santino's crash. You can see all the content getting put out by our team outside of what you see here on the racetrack. And
guys, just wanted to let you know Pierce Urbanowski went on the hook, thought they might stop in the work area, took a quick look and up the ramp all the way.
Thank you, Brian. So we lose another with
Kyle Busch still is restarting 5th here. That's not a bad, things certainly could be worse.
Now Tyler Edwards trying to get back what he lost, and Kyle Busch is going to try to jump to the outside. That was almost disaster again as Tyler Edwards continues to work to the inside of Curtis Jones, and now Jones up the hill. There goes Edwards, Busch, and Steffens.
Back to 4th.
Right back where you started. Now, no one's really driving away in this like we maybe thought.
Oh, and Edwards just threw it in there, and Kyle Busch will take the spot looking for 2nd. Austin Nye there continues to hold him at bay, but boy, what a strong move. That didn't pan out for Tyler Edwards, but here comes Kyle Busch as they hop into 1 and 2. Door opens to the inside of Austin Nye. It's a drag race into turn 3. 3-car battle here for 2nd as Andrew Felker pulls away, and Rowdy is up to P2.
How about it for the Corey Cruz machine hanging in there tough with some big dogs as Tyler Edwards makes his way by. Seems to have kind of figured that thing out and had a little speed in the 56.
Busch, though, had a really good 3 and 4, able to pull about a 2-car length advantage in that 2nd spot back up front. Hot Rod Andrew Felker sees the white flag. He's got about a 6-car length advantage on Kyle Busch, make that 7 for the final time. Andrew Felker was challenging for a prelim win, and he'll take this one. Felker wins from 3rd to go 110 points. Kyle Busch 2nd. What a run for Kyle Busch.
118 by
118, yes. So I believe puts him 2nd overall.
Well, welcome to Chili Bowl, Kyle Busch.
No
We're going to
kidding.
crash in front of you lap 1 after you had a heroic start and eat your way back forward.
Shades of his first shootout appearance when he went 8-1 in his first time ever, and now goes 7-2.
Smart, too. Stuck to the bottom for the most part and just used every advantage he had when the hole opened up, drove right through it, right place, right time. That was very impressive by Kyle Busch. And
for anyone thinking Kyle's going to, struggle or, just look silly in here, I mean, he is a phenomenal race car driver,
and
right?
He's got good setup and help in the pit area that are going to coach him into being in the right spot, too, because Big Al knows his stuff.
Yep.
Well done for them. As the next heat race rolls down, our ones to watch. Heat races coming up for some of the big names. Stenhouse, CV, Grant, and Pickens all due out before too long as we're 3 down. Heat race 4 making its way down the ramp. NOS Energy Drink Ramp Camp. Up top we go. Chris Moore. He's got Andrew Felker.
Yeah, I've got Andrew Felker here. Every year since 2010, you've made your prelim A main. You've run third twice. I know you're looking for maybe just one better tonight, maybe 2 better. Up to a good start. How does your race car feel?
We're decent right now. We still got some work to do. I feel like as the race went on there, I feel like we got better and better, and I think the track's come to us. It's still a bit greasy on the bottom, but a long night ahead of us, but that got us off to a good start. Now we just got to maintain and try to go forward in this qualifier to put ourselves in a good spot for the feature, and so we can do from there.
How much confidence do you come in here with, especially after making the A main on Saturday last year?
I definitely build a lot of confidence. This year a little bit different. I've changed up the frame with the link now, so that's the first time in like 13 years I haven't had a ripper with Felice, so it's a little bit different. I had a good balance always, I felt like, and we're still kind of trying to find our balance now, but we're getting there, we're getting better. Hopefully get these laps for the qualifier to help us make our changes for the feature and continue to work on it.
All right, there you go, guys. Always quietly a factor. Andrew Felker announces his presence here early.
Chowing down on that gum like Pete Carroll on the sidelines. That kid, Andrew. All right, heat 4. Josh Shipley and Landon Simon, battle of a couple of non-wingers from the front row. Your former Daytona 500 winner, Rick Stenhouse Jr., and Ryan Paget in row number 2. Shannon McQueen inside row 3 with Chance Morris next to her. Jason Botsford in the 0B. Ronnie Gardner, 7T, a late ride put together for him. And then Daniel Robinson, the veteran, coming off 9th with an opportunity to score some points here in a racetrack where points eminently scorable through these first few heat races. Ryan Timms on top with 120. Kyle Busch unofficially second at 118, and then 2 drivers already at 110, making up your qualifier run. So, been good so far. Let's see what happens here in this next heat.
I'm excited to see how Ronnie Gardner does here. I feel like the RMS cars are really fast, and I feel like this is probably the best shot he's ever had inside the building.
He has been good for some good heat races in the past. Like, we've seen more than a few back-to-front runs from him, and make it to the qualifier as one of the high-point guys. So, eyes on the 17 for the back. From the front, though, Landon Simon going for the lead, and commentators curse. Mitchell Moles just left it on Ronnie Gardner. McQueen in the 7 car. It's pinball time at the bowl. Everybody drive for now.
Ronnie's front end's broke.
Caution flag waves, yep, and there he sits.
Man, RMS has had some tough luck this week.
Not the year that those guys were looking for. They've had, speed all week long, just can't find any sort of luck to go with it.
So you mentioned this ride, and part of it, Ronnie's one of the better engine guys in the country, right? So pair him up together with these guys, the equipment they have, and you could see where this would have been a recipe for something wonderful. Now, unfortunately, it's scramble mode for him. Gardner starting in this race in position number 8. 8 to 9 runs going to put him at the back of a D main, guys.
And Ronnie, one of those guys with the 6-8 Motorsports that ended up not coming out here in RMS, stepping up to give him a great opportunity. And right here, Ronnie's left front gets over.
Guys,
maybe some right front
He's
contact.
wanting to go to the work area and try and get this changed. It looked like just the drag link and the left front shock.
Yeah, I think that goes back to Dave Eatstep. I mean, he's a great guy, and that's a huge deal for the Rosenbooms and for Dave Eatstep to step up and give TJ and Ronnie rides when they needed it the most.
Absolutely.
Dave and Matt Eastep last year, I believe, giving Jerry Coon Jr. a complete car and engine. And Dave and Matt have always, been great people, taking care of a lot of other people and giving out some great opportunities as the RMS guys go to work on this thing. And
Brian with Matt scramble across the racetrack to get there. So
yeah, they're taking the shock adjuster off the left front right now. It actually, now that I get another look on the outside, it's both front shocks. and they already have the right front shock off.
See Jimmy Anderson down there, Jeff Pika, 2 crew guys for the RMS team.
How's that axle, Brian? Is it straight on both sides?
Getting a good look on the right front, and everything looks good on the right side here. It does look like it might have a little bow back on the left front, but they are struggling to get the left front shock off, and now some exasperated looks. They might have found something that's going to be too difficult for them to change.
And a reminder, too, they did change a little bit of the work area rules earlier in the week for the Chili Bowl. You do get a guaranteed minute during heat race action no matter what point of the race we're at. After that, it's a minute until we're halfway. So
as the car pulled away, I did just see the mount on the axle on the right front where the lower radius rod hooks up. It just broke that mount for that lower rod.
We got 3 parked cars out here.
Yeah, McQueen stopped first, and Robinson, I can't say stopped to not run her over, but there's no other reason for Daniel to stop other than not plowing up the back. And then it's the Morris 7C.
Chance Morris running for Ramco.
All these guys are going to go to the tail.
Yeah, that's not good.
I mean, doesn't change up the order a whole lot other than for Jason Botsford. He just got 3-4 free positions if you count Ronnie Gardner.
Jason Botsford listed from Quincy, Washington originally. That is half an hour from where I grew up. I can promise you there is no midget racing in Quincy, Washington.
None?
Not a lick. Somebody might have...
oh, boy.
Oh, we got another one.
Joshua Shipley was running second.
Started in the pole.
I was gonna say, this is the heat race you want to be in, apparently.
Oh,
Just
no
dropping
kidding.
out.
If you're just running, you have a shot here.
So Jason Botsford up 1 more spot. That's 5 free spots. Ronnie Gardner, Daniel Robinson, Shane McQueen.
Go Team Eastern Washington.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't need a commentator's curse, so easy.
Kyler, you live in Illinois now. You shush.
I believe they're trying to get Botsford up into position.
Oh, is he?
All right, I got to go do
a couple cars. 7C Chance Moore should be up there behind Ryan Paget by my math, and Botsford should also be up there unless he stopped somewhere I didn't see.
Well, the lineup is good.
Yeah.
Chrissy McDougal giving them the 1-to-go signal.
Well,
all right, so our generated paper lineup says Quincy, Washington. Our digital entry says Tracy, California. That would make a lot more sense as far as hometown for Jason goes.
That's not too far from me.
Out in Raisin City?
Oh, yeah. Beautiful.
Here we go, back into the green flag. 7 to go in heat 1. To the inside, here goes Ricky Stenhouse Jr. looking for the top spot in his CB Industries 86. He's got it over Landon Simon. Simon back into second. As Ryan Paget picks up the spot up to third. And way up the hill, Chance Morris trying to hang on.
Settle down, guys. All right, it's early. McQueen going to pick up a spot. Robinson going back downstairs. Remember, he started 9th, so this is all gravy for Robinson if he can get a couple more positions here.
Paget Moore is selling out on the top right now. Absolutely incredible things to watch.
Oh, around almost. Keeps it rolling, loses the spot. And a bunch of positions.
That was like a half commentator's curse.
Yeah. We should just stop talking.
Your race leader is Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Started 3rd. Another driver started
Robinson
3rd.
just told McQueen she's number 1 as he went around the outside. Those two have been banging wheels the last couple of laps, and finally Robinson got around.
Not the first time Robinson's thrown the bird.
Exactly.
That's a signature move now out of Robinson.
Not as cool as when he did to Sammy, but...
Yeah.
1 to go for Stenhouse, who is going to pick up 110 here with relative ease. Stenhouse gets the job done. Simon, second to second, worth 93 points for him.
I never really understood the whole number 1 thing because I don't think the guy that you're giving the number 1 to really cares.
No, yeah. Yeah.
Well, if you remember the story
all
from Robinson originally on Sammy, he did it because he loved racing with the guy.
Right.
Thought he was a hero to him and just thought it'd be kind of cool to flip him off.
I think we got a good look at it here on the IBOC replay. Watch the outside. That's Daniel Robinson. Oh, little hip check here.
And clean so far. Hey!
Hey, how are you?
Vintage.
Hey, how are you?
Somebody got a good picture of that too. You saw the flash bulb, so I need to see that.
Robinson scores 104 going 9-4, by the way. So good run for him. 4 heat races down. QR code up right now to vote for the best appearing car. We got some gorgeous Friday night cars here in this field. So scan that QR code. You'll go into a voting page where you get to select your favorite looking car here on Friday nights. Put them into one of the semifinalist positions. Best appearing car will be named tomorrow. I know that Briggs Danner got night one, number 1. Chance Hull got the 4th night last night. That's the Revolution Graphics car. It's the one.
Yes.
You're right. Corey Day got Wednesday night. I don't remember who ended up winning Tuesday. I'll figure it out. But right now, I need to check with Blake and Ricky Stenhouse Jr.
Hey, Rick. Good run there. Do you feel like that's maybe a little bit of battle of a survival there, just making sure you can get through clear? I feel like cars are just skating all over the racetrack.
Yeah, it's weird. It looks like the track has a lot of grip in it right now, but it's still a little bit slimy in places. I got tight there running the bottom a couple of times, but Chad and all his guys are doing a great job on this NOS energy drink machine, so we'll take it. I mean, we did what we had to do, 3rd to 1. You know, you'd like to get some more passing points, but you can't be too picky right now. So we'll go back to work and watch out and see what we need to do in these qualifiers.
110 points will do for Ricky Stenhouse Jr., who was 23rd in his prelim a year ago. Tomorrow night, he'll go for his 9th career A-main start. That was his 8th heat race win, too. Boy, he is just racking up the numbers here at the Chili Bowl, guys.
Thank you very much, Blake. Heat race 5 down the ramp onto the track. One more shot. Here we go. From turn number 2, here's the Nate Vision. Oof. All right, that's the rear tire contact that made Daniel Robinson say, hey, how you doing?
Great work by Nate down there in the infield. As you take a look at that replay, exciting stuff here in this heat race action. Well, before we launch this next heat race, Caleb, we have an absolute special guest joining us, and he's going to be honored here tomorrow. How about it, Jeff Gordon? Welcome to FloRacing in the Chili Bowl.
Man, I am so excited to be back. You know, I've been here many times, but it's been a few years, and this is a bit of a redo on the Grand Marshal duties. But I can't think of any place I'd rather be right now than here. I've been watching from home, and you guys are doing an amazing job, and some of the best racing we've seen. So should be quite a night, and quite a night tomorrow is going to be spectacular.
Chris, how about this? We've got Jeff Gordon sitting in the booth with us for heat race action here at the Chili Bowl.
Absolutely.
This could be kind of cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just check that box off the career goals, right?
It'd be a lot cooler if you're out there in a car.
Yeah, well, I was there.
Can't be too far away, right?
I was there back in the late 80s.
Does it feel like it was that long ago?
No, it doesn't, but the cars have changed so much, so when I look at the cars, I'm like, man, these things are going a lot faster than I was going around here. But I had an amazing email from Raleigh Helmling, who was my owner that I drove for, and he was reminding me about our Chili Bowl experience, because that year, I think it was 1990, I mean, it was just a spectacular year for us. We seemed to win everything, but we didn't win here. I think we finished 14th, 15th. So I was always bummed about not coming back and having a better Chili Bowl, but it was certainly an amazing experience.
5th heat race is on the track and ready to go. Green, Timmy Thrash, and Johnny Murdoch. We have got the 2-time and defending Chili Bowl champion Logan Seavey in this one. He's in the black and purple 39 towards the back of the field. Contact up front early between Thrash and Murdoch. Bottom opens up, and there's Jason McDougal into the early lead.
Oh, we got one hard in the wall in turn 1, upside down in a big way, and that's Brendan Hires in one of the Bundy built sponsored machines, and that was a massive impact. And in turn number 1, safety crew is there.
Sparks flying all over the place. Got a great shot of it, knocking the right side arm guard all the way into the top visor off on the car.
Wow.
Or the top side visor, I should say. Quickly, let's get the hook. That thing's not rolling anywhere.
No.
That's why you don't want to get back in one, right, Jeff?
I was say, welcome to heat race action, Jeff.
I wouldn't mind getting back out there. I don't want to get out there with other cars on the track, because that's why.
you got a chance to test a midget at the BC3 out at Indy, right?
I did. You know, Richard Marshall and Tim Clausen. It was such a cool experience to get back in a car. I was amazed at the grip, I will say. You know, the grip was just driving off the left rear and just doing things that we were always trying to get our cars to do better. But so yeah, that was cool, and you know, has similar size track and some conditions similar to this. So I guess I wouldn't mind getting back out here a little bit too.
Well, let's get an IBOC replay of what just happened here to Brendan Hires out of Pennsylvania. And Brian Ward is on the scene over by the accident. Brian, you got a pile of race car parts hanging out over there with you.
Yeah, they're going to pick it all the way up on the hook. I mean, they got everything on the front end, the radius rods, the shocks, and they got the Jacobs ladder on the rear, so couldn't hook it up from either end. Brendan, a wild ride there. Tell me what about coming to turn number 1.
Just got too impatient.
Okay, we're going to get us off the racetrack. I was going to get him in that side-by-side that they were carrying the car with, but there's no room inside, so we'll have to find a four-wheeler to get a ride out back to the pits.
Clinton, that thing's hurting too. You see the fluid squirting out from the bottom of it underneath. That was ugly.
Really tough there because he had a great run down the front stretch, and I don't think he expected the car in front of him, Timmy Thrash, to be up there and dump the front end, try to get on the brakes, and just couldn't get it wheeled up in time, and not enough room between Thrash and the wall to split the gap at all. So I moved guys up a couple rows and one car off, and here we go.
Big bonus points there for all those guys, Ferrucci, Park, Seavey, who are buried in the back of the field, who need every spot they can get. In fact, Santino going to restart to position 4 here, even behind Johnny Murdoch. So,
and that front end was destroyed maybe about an hour and a half ago. So good to see Santino back. Have Jeff Gordon here in the booth. Jeff, obviously not your first time back since you last ran here, but what is it about being back, and how special is it to be back?
Well, besides just the amazing action on the track and great racing, young talent, obviously our news recently at Corey Day, we've got our eye on these kids out here and getting it done, and some of the best, racers that not just exist on dirt, but I think get behind the wheel of a race car. But the energy of the crowd and the fans, I mean, I just think that's what makes this experience so cool for so many racers, but new people that come here. There's no energy like this anywhere you go of any other event.
Here in the heat race, Logan Seavey is moving his way to 4th in the 39. You see him weave his way forward. Santino Ferrucci is 2nd, so a nice rebound for him as Logan hunting up P3. Jace Park trying to take it away from him. Can't do it as Logan up and around the outside of turn number 2 for the 3rd spot.
Logan's been so calculated moving through this field. He hasn't taken any unneeded risk, and now some open air to see if he can find a way to get past Santino in these final 2.5 laps.
And you saw just how narrow it is trying to drive around the outside in turn number 1 and 2, but Logan did it to perfection. But he's closing in here on Santino Ferrucci. Have to be calculated here as they come to the white flag this time around.
He's going to get about 6 corners to try it in here off the top. They're even at the line. Ferrucci waving bye to Logan Seavey, who puts 3 car lengths in between him in a hurry.
But Boogie is off and rolling, already putting cars a lap down as the checkered flag waves. Jason McDougal wins heat race as Logan Seavey, Santino Ferrucci 3rd. Make that all for naught. Santino did not get it back to the start-finish line and moved Jace Park, Timmy Thrash, and Johnny Murdoch to your top 5.
So 9-2 for Seavey is worth 128. He is your new high point at this point. And up, Parkins up 3rd from 7th, and that's worth 106. So big scoring heat race. 115 for McDougal, 106 for Park, and your new high point man, the 2-time and defending Chili Bowl champion Logan Seavey after heat 5.
When I looked at that racetrack being narrow and still pretty tacky, I thought he was going to have a tough time earning those points, but he made it look easy, didn't he?
Certainly did.
It's something this week that we've seen. The best of the best, no matter what the track conditions here at the Chili Bowl, just seem to find their way forward on this field. It doesn't matter how narrow, how wide, how heavy, how dry it's been. That's just level of talent that we're experiencing at an event that's got darn near 400 drivers from across all disciplines.
Yeah, it goes back to you make your own luck. When you've got a great talent behind the wheel, and you've got a car and a team that is behind you that knows how to tune for the conditions and this track. It's amazing how consistency can actually come at a place that seems so inconsistent and unpredictable.
We need to check in up top. We've got a K1 Race Gear interview with Chris Moore.
Yeah, thank you, Caleb. Got Jason McDougall here. I'll tell you, go out there. Pretty good heat race, but you start up front, right? You did what you had to do. How do you feel about your chances now going forward into a qualifier?
Man, we just got to keep trucking along. We got a nice 7P Ramco right now, and this King Chassis Toyota is really doing us well, and we got some work to do. I'm not super comfortable yet, so it's not on yet.
All right, there you go, Jason McDougall. Not comfortable, but hey, when you're putting cars a lap down in a heat race, you got a pretty high standard.
Thank you, Chris.
Yeah, 100% for sure. And we know when he's good in this building what he can do, and if he's not comfortable, look out.
He might be playing some mind games there because he's pretty darn good.
Yeah.
All right, and look at heat race number 6. Chris Roseland, Cole Tinsley, Gavin Miller, and Dominic Gordon. A lot of talent in row number 2. Terry Nichols and Devin Camfield. Melissa Perkins is the Western States Midget Promoter in the 20M, jumping into a race car to race here at the Chili Bowl. Caleb Montgomery and Josh Hodge, 9 cars. Rolling out for 8 laps at the end points on the line here in our 6th heat race, as we are spoiled to be joined in the booth by Jeff Gordon.
I'm the spoiled one. What are you talking about, man? You guys get to do this all the time, all week.
Oh, yes.
We're 88 hours in now between
Something
the
like
shootout.
I've lost count after like 60 or 70. It's been unbelievable.
But to that extent, Jeff, we got to spend 88 hours with some of our best racing buddies watching this fantastic action from the shootout here at the Chili Bowl. We're pretty darn lucky.
Yeah, well, and it's the buildup, right? It's how is this all going to play out, and every day is something different track conditions, different superstars, or somebody that breaks out that you didn't expect. So there's always great action, but it's all about getting to tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
Here we go, Roseland and Tinsley. Heat race 6 of 9 here on Friday night is underway. Hop, skip, and the jump for Tinsley. He's going to try to go through the middle and get around.
It's a great move to get up to the
Gavin Miller.
lead.
Man, that is a huge move for Cole Tinsley. Remember, supposed to run Monday, had motor issues, switched to Friday, now he leads lap 1.
Smart move to get back to the bottom there to put a block on Gavin Miller and try to remain consistent.
Side by side we go. There's Dominic Gordon trying to pull away from this battle. Devin Camfield, Terry Nichols from about 5th on back as you take a look at Terry Nichols trying to roll through on the right side of your screen. But here comes Dominic Gordon, the youngster out of the West Coast, the Beelman Motorsports 31, around Tinsley. Takes that 2nd spot away.
Nearly had a disastrous turn 1 a couple of laps ago. He got into the bottom of 1. It was so tight. Was able to get the car rotated. Now he's about to give it back to Tinsley out of 2.
Yeah, mistake there on the top in 1 and 2. Gets Tinsley the momentum back. Tinsley will, oh man, huck the front end up. And that opens the bottom. Good battle here for P2.
Bumper tag in through the corners, but the yellow lights have blinked on as there's Nichols, who was running 7th at the time, slowed to a stop out of the 2nd corner. We'll be 5 down and 3 to go. Gavin Miller in your lead. Tinsley will be given 2nd over Gordon. That's a big deal for him here on the restart, with Roseland, Montgomery, Canfield, Hodge, and Perkins restarting, and then Nichols if he can fire it back up.
Jeff, how often do you get to tune into Flo? Do you watch much dirt racing or action on Flo all year? Or?
Well, obviously, ever since Kyle Larson came to Hendrick Motorsports, I'm watching a lot more of it. So is Rick Hendrick and Jeff Andrews and Jack Knaus and a lot of the folks at Hendrick. Just a lot of good, just big dirt race fans in our complex. But certainly they've become a lot bigger now that we've got guys out there racing on dirt and just doing short track race. I think Chase Elliott's doing a late model race this week as well. So. I try to tune in as much as I can, and thankfully Flo makes it pretty easy to do.
It certainly does. Hundreds and hundreds of racing throughout the years. We're back under the green flag with Gavin Miller and Tinsley, but there goes Dominic Gordon back to where he was. Got one in the wall. I believe that was
Roseland's 84.
Yep.
Gordon clears Tinsley. He's got 2 laps. See if he's got anything for Miller in the KKM machine. Yeah, trying to snug up on him, but just one more time around.
Put some good laps together, though. Dominic Gordon settling things down here in that 2nd spot. White flag is out, though, for Gavin Miller. Pennsylvania racer, had a really good Tulsa shootout back with KKM and picks up heat race number 6. Solid point scoring for him. Gavin Miller going 3-1, worth 110 points. Puts him well inside the top 5 through 6 heat races. As you look at your unofficial results here in heat race number 6, Caleb's going to tabulate the points. Jeff, you mentioned it just a moment ago before we started the heat racing. Corey Day, big announcement this week. I mean, obviously huge for his career, but what was it about Corey? Obviously, you were probably paying attention to his career much before this announcement, but what is it about a guy like Corey?
Yeah, I mean, watching, on Flow and just watching sprint car racing in general, because I love it so much. His name just kept popping up, and he kept doing things that got, a lot of people's attention, not just ours. But having somebody like Kyle Larson who's racing against guys, when I was racing against Jimmy Johnson, the Busch Grand National Series, it made it really easy for when Rick Hendrick and I started talking about drivers to say, man, this guy's really good. And I'm not out there now, so I've got to watch. I've got to try to figure out what kind of equipment are they in. What kind of moves are they making? But to have somebody like Kyle Larson also vouch for that driver. So I remember, I think he won a race or something a couple years ago, and plus Jeff Andrews, our president at Hendrick Motorsports, we're both California guys.
Yeah.
So of course, if there's somebody doing something from California, then we're talking about it. I knew Corey's dad and raced with him a little bit over the years as well, and we just started going, man, we got to keep our eye on this guy, and then I said something to Kyle Larson one day, and he's like, oh, he's the real deal. And so from that moment on, we really just started paying more and more attention to him and seeing if we could turn something kind of into a reality to bring him to NASCAR, give him some experience, see what he can do on pavement. I'll never forget the first time that I know we got to go to the interview, but the first time that I hung out with Corey, we went to a driving school in Vegas, and he had never driven a stick shift before. So
Oh, wow.
that was, I was like, oh, we got a lot to learn here.
We are talking with Jeff Gordon here in the booth. We got to go up top for a K1 Race Gear interview, and Blake Anderson.
Yeah, Gavin Miller's second career heat race win at the Chili Bowl for the driver 8th in USAC midget points last year. And Gavin, did it feel like a close call out there to get to the lead?
Yeah, a little bit. I kind of got a little tight and then got into his left front there. But the car's great right now. I've made some errors there that I got to clean up on my part. But I can't thank everyone enough. Toyota Racing, Sound Gear, KKM. I'm excited going into the qualifier.
Gavin Miller was 9th last year, guys, in his prelim. Won the C main on Saturday night and finished 16th on the B main. So looking for his first ever A main start on Saturday night here at the Chili Bowl in about 24 hours.
Thank you, Blake. Engines firing here on heat race number 7. Competitors for this one, Cole van der Heijden and Wout Hoffmans from the Netherlands, Greg Dennett and Robbie Smith, Don Dowd Jr., Tyler Courtney, Frankie Guarini, Mark Chisholm, and Josh Hawkins. 9 cars, 8 laps once again for 100 points or more to win this heat race. Jeff, you mentioned Kyle and talking to Kyle about Corey Day, and the fact that you were talking to Mr. Hendricks about scouting drivers yourself back when you were in race mode for him. Is that something that Mr. Hendricks has done for a long time, is lean on his drivers for their opinion on other drivers to bring into the organization?
Rick has his own way of recognizing talent, and he loves to see young up-and-coming drivers get an opportunity and showcase that talent. But he's definitely somebody that watches and looks and listens, but he also likes input, and so anytime we've got our eye on somebody, he loves to hear about it.
Heat race number 7, as we continue our conversation with Jeff Gordon, is underway. Wout Hoffmans, the Netherlands driver, to the outside, is going to try to circle the wagons, but pushed up the racetrack. Good battle here up front for the lead. Cole van der Heijden's going to take over the top spot. Here comes Sunshine. Tyler Courtney to the inside for position number 2. Courtney trying to roll the bottom. Hoffman's all sorts of crossed up off the corner, and Tyler just being patient here, running for Paul Silva. Teamed up with Kyle Larson here at the Chili Bowl. But Hoffman's starting to get back into a rhythm and starting to run down Cole van der Heijden for the lead.
Top 3 breaking away. Good look from turn number 1, the different lines that they're using as they shoot through turns 1 and 2. Hoffman's big wheel stand down into turn number 3 as he's trying to hunt down van der Heijden. But Vanderheiden getting away, and now Sunshine's got opportunity for position 2.
Wow, Wout was counting the bulbs here in the Expo Center with that wheel stand. Tyler Courtney trying to track him down for that second spot, could use it. With Tyler having started outside of row number 3, if he can get one more, it'd be a solid point score. But the laps beginning to wind down. It'll be 2 laps to go. The battle for second continues.
That's the car speed we've been looking for Sunshine for a couple of nights now within it, as he is all over Hoffman's, looking for the spot. We're coming down just a 1/5 of a mile to go, Chris. He's going to have to find the combination right now.
White flag is out. Vanderheiden a solid second lead, just about a second lead that last time around, but the battle for second still heating up. One more shot for Tyler Courtney. He's going to let it hang out off of 4, but wow, Hoffman's hangs on for second. So Sunshine goes 6-3 here in this one. Cole Vanderheiden winning from the pole as you look at your finishing order here in heat race number 7.
Vanderheiden, a rookie, running for CJ Johnson, and one hell of a race for him.
One of 83 rookies at the Chili Bowl. I cannot believe every year how many rookies we have, and this is where you make a name for yourself, so congratulations to Cole.
101 for Sunshine, going 6-3, so doing okay, but finally did show that car speed we were looking for on Tyler. It's been a bit.
Well, now that you've got Corey Day in the system, what is that transition process like? I can't imagine what his schedule looks like for 2025. It's probably huge.
Yeah, it's intense. I mean, there's so much, there's the physical fitness side of it. There's the simulator side of it. There's just getting laps and understanding the cars and the tracks and the competitors. So he's got, a steep climb, but he's fully committed, and he's moved to North Carolina, and that's first and foremost is just you got to be there because there's just so much happening there. And so, but we want to see him racing on dirt too. So it's cool that he's here this week, and he's going to be running some sprint cars, obviously. And so, yeah, he's going to be a busy young man.
Wow.
And he'll start, in the ARCA series.
Yeah.
In Daytona, which is, what a place to start.
No kidding. Yeah. Go from running about 80, 90 miles an hour around here to 180 at Daytona on the banking. I can't imagine that sensation for him as well.
Toss it up top. Chris Moore ready with our K1 Race Gear interview.
Yeah, I got Cole Vanderheiden here. Cole, congratulations, man. Chili Bowl rookie, you come out, win a heat race. Tell me, how good did that race car feel? Looked like you were working right up against that cushion the whole way.
Yeah, man, that car felt so good. Felt like I could put it on the bottom or the top. This is my first actual race. That was my first actual race in a midget, so definitely pretty excited. Hopefully we can go forward in the qualifier and put her in, lock her in the prelim tonight.
Good job, man. Keep it up.
Thank you.
Cole Vanderheiden, how about that? First time in a midget, checks off a win.
Batting 1,000 here at the Chili Bowl.
And rivaling Emerson Axum for helmet hair. Holy cow. That was fantastic.
Heat race number 8. You should take a look at the BR Motorsports speed shot out on the racetrack. Here's how they'll go for 8 laps. Ace McCarthy running for Tanner Thorson on the pole to his outside. Justin Graham, Mr. Friday Night, for CB Industries for the first time here at the Chili Bowl. Tad Hallman and Taylor Courtney, Sunshine's brother, in row 2. Tim Creech, Sam Johnson in row number 3. Jeffrey Abbey, Chris Andrews, and Michael Pickens coming from the rear inside of row number 5. That is going to be one to watch for sure.
Definitely a sneaky good heat race.
Yeah.
It's not even really sneaky between McCarthy and Grant on the front row. Sam Johnson's been very good in this building. We saw him a couple years ago compete with Justin Grant and Ricky Stenhouse at the front of a Friday night A main. Pickens off the back here. KKM cars, obviously picking up speed as the week goes. So
Jeffrey Abbey, the stock car star for IMCA Modifieds. That's
Lights
gonna be
are
cool.
out. Eyes and storylines all over the place. Heat race number 8 is green. And around the outside goes Justin Grant looking to run away and hide as Ace McCarthy tries to hang on to P2. See as Sam Johnson those rolling.
Yeah, see as Sam quickly up into 3rd is huge for him. Really impressive what Justin did there on the start to just be in total control.
Michael Pickens up 2 spots already at the initial green. Make that 3, make that 4. Slicing his, dicing his way through. Michael Pickens now up inside the top 5 into 4th.
Created a nice hole to punch through for Jimmy Miller's favorite driver, Chris Andrews, the veteran. He's making his path in and through as you get another look at Justin Grant, already opening her up big time over the rest of the field, over a second advantage just at the halfway point.
Solid test session here for Justin Grant again in his first outing at the Chili Bowl with Chad Boat and CV Industries coming to 3 laps to go, but the caution flag waves. We've got a couple cars top turn number 3, and that's Timmy Creech. Tad Holloman letting him know what he thinks about it. And Creech stuck up over the left front of the Holloman machine.
That cushion's getting to semi-gnarly status up there, Clinton.
Yeah, it's starting to, which is good to see it start to widen out. We see that huge moisture patch off turn 4 that we saw last night, kind of keeping things interesting on running the bottom of 3 and 4. But yeah, cushion's starting to build up, and obviously a lot of moisture in the racetrack today. So as this thing, flips over and builds up that curb, it's going to get, just like we saw last night, which is really solid and going to be really hard to move.
Brian Ward is on the scene. Brian, I don't suspect major damage, but what can you tell us on the Holloman car?
Yeah, I didn't really see damage on either one of these race cars. The left side nerf bar of Holloman is kind of pushed up against the header, but not enough to put a dent in the header. Just a small dent in the nerf bar. Everything else looks intact and good to go.
So he'll get pushed back off.
Other than the 20 pounds of clay that might be stuck on the front end of that thing.
That's
Holy
true.
cow.
Jeff, you've probably been paying attention this week a little bit. What have you thought of the track surface? I mean, we've had some absolute gnarly cushions out here this year.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing, like in the A main, right? The first few laps with the fuel loads, they just can't even get near it, can't touch it, just pulls the front end over. Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be really something to see as it evolves tomorrow night, and whether guys are going to be able to get up over it. Are they going to just, build it up all the way to the wall, and then the bottom comes back in? So it has been gnarly.
Speaking of getting up over it, were you watching the shootout just in awe at Kyle Larson and what he was doing?
Well,
in
and
that
that's
micro?
kind of where I was going with that. Is I saw that line, and I mean, if you can't run up against it, then find a new way, and that's what makes him so good, and guys like him that know how to search around these racetracks.
4 laps to go here in heat race number 8. It's been all Justin Grant. This one's going to come back.
I honestly think, my guess is they hit the wrong switch. The yellow came on for a short second, and then the green popped on. So I feel like at that point you just throw your yellow, reset, and re-go. But
so on the restart, Grant, McCarthy, Johnson, Pickens. Grant's maxed out. Can't do any better than what he is. It's 105 for him if he continues on with him. As the cone has been turned pink tonight as well. McCarthy right now 1-2, and you really can't afford to go backwards any further for him. Johnson has worked 6-3. We know that's a good scoring run. Pickens 9-4 as well if nothing changes from here.
Yeah, sitting at 104 for Pickens. He wants a little bit more, though, as we're back under the green flag. Looking at Sam Johnson trying to follow Justin Grant through, but Grant just so good off the bottom. Now the door is going to open for Ace McCarthy. Got real tight up on the bottom, and door opens for Michael Pickens. So Pickens now 9-3 here with 2 laps to go.
Race said that McCarthy couldn't really afford to fall backwards. He's going to try to pick up that spot back from Pickens. Pickens leans up against the cushion, drives away. Here comes Chris Andrews. Andrews down to the bottom as McCarthy having a rough couple of laps here, loses multiple spots.
Chris Andrews on the march from 8th. Gonna maybe stall out there, but a good pickup to 4th is off of 4. Justin Grant wins heat race number 8 by a mile over Sam Johnson. Michael Pickens 9-3. Andrews and Ace McCarthy round out your top 5 as you look at your unofficial results with one more heat race to go.
Pickens picks up 116 for his 9-3 run. 6-2 worth 113 for Sam Johnson, who has just had a fantastic run in these 30 days at Tulsa. And 105 for Grant as well. Chris Andrews 8-4 is qualifier bound to 99 points. A nice job for the vet.
It's exactly what he needed. So as we continue to tabulate the points, don't forget you can vote for the best appearing car here at the Chili Bowl. Votes are still open if you scan the QR code. There's several nominees here tonight. We saw a few of them already. Logan Seavey, boy, that thing looks sharp.
Ooh. Between his car and Felker's.
Yeah. Here's a question we all want to ask Jeff.
Yeah.
Have you been to the Top Row Rowdies, and can we get you over there?
Oh, I've been. Come on now. I don't know if I'm planning to go this trip, but no,
but he has experience.
I have experienced it. Yeah, I don't think Rico's here, but I know he's not racing. But I go where Rico goes.
Yeah.
Because he knows how to
You've
find
definitely been over there
where the
then.
fun
Yeah.
is. So I've been
Yep.
over there with those guys a couple of times.
Yeah, it's sad to not have Rico here this year. He's back home recovering from an incident over in Australia, so I'm sure he's tuned in watching right now. And Rico, we wish you a speedy recovery and can't wait to see you back on tour with the Kubota Highland Sprint cars.
And they're missing you over there,
Yeah.
buddy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We need to check in up top another K1 Race Gear interview with Blake.
Time prelim winner here, Justin Grant. And Justin, what's the report could look like after one heat race with a new team?
Feels good. Feels good there. Felt like had pretty decent speed. Could run the curb. Could stick the bottom. Chad Boat and these CBI guys, they got me super comfortable, super fast, and feel like I can smash this thing. And really excited to keep going tonight. We should hopefully start fourth in a qualifier. If we can go win that, we'll be first few rows of the feature. And this, here we go. This is gonna be the hard part. We just started. This NOS Energy Drink 87, help from Pristine Auctions, MPV Express, Avanti Windows. I can't
Need to
think
get
of
him a
anybody
cue
enough
card.
that makes this all possible. Puts me in these fast race cars, and I'm having a blast working with these guys.
I know the pickleball club's watching back home, BK and Spridge. They're probably happy.
Yeah, we gotta say, give a shout out to the BPC and the pickleball boys at home.
There we go. 12 wins for JG this year, 9 in USAC Sprint Car 2, the USAC Silver Crown Series, and a USAC Midget win for the USAC Triple Crown Champion. Or trying to be a USAC Triple Crown Champion, excuse me.
Thank you, Blake. All right, 9th and final heat race. Travis Mania, TJ Smith, Mark Daly, Michael Jacinto, Hayden Reinbold, Ryan Pickett, Wesley Smith, Cameron LaRose, and Brock Elliott make up your 9 cars, going 8 times around in our final heat race of the Chili Bowl. I'm sorry to make you sad, Chris. It is what it is.
That actually is super sad. I feel like we waited all year.
Yeah.
It came and started going.
Jeff, you've spoken of your love here for Tulsa. What other short tracks in America would you say you've got the most love for? Places that you love to race or just like to watch, whatever it ends up being.
I mean, I guess you don't call Knoxville a short track. I mean,
comparatively,
in NASCAR we do.
Yes.
But I always like the bigger short tracks, right? The Eldoras and the Knoxvilles.
You're a half-mile guy then.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I am. Even when I was driving and racing, I kind of like those tracks. But a track I grew up on, 2 tracks I grew up on, which were 2 of my favorite tracks, are quarter miles, which is Bloomington and Lawrenceburg. Those 2 tracks are just amazing short tracks and fast, especially Lawrenceburg. Blinding fast.
Did you ever get to make it to the new Lawrenceburg?
I have not. No,
Yeah.
it didn't have a wall when I was racing there.
Way more cowboy out then.
Here we go. The 9th and final heat race is underway, and already TJ Smith launched out of a cannon in that Jody Rosenboom 14 machine as they cycle into 3 and 4. They're side by side, several rows deep. Here comes Michael Jacinto, the Californian in the Trifecta Motorsports 5U, bringing with him
Hayden Reinbold trying to come through. As Mitchell Moles told us, follow Jacinto. He knows where to go. So HR with a good charge early. Said he's having a bit of a sick game, the Jordan game
fluke?
here.
Oh boy.
So
You mean the greatest of all time, Michael Jordan? Chris Moore?
Take a look at your leader, TJ Smith, out here running 11.8, so track slowed down just a little bit since what we saw earlier in the night.
How appropriate would this be if Jacinto can run him down and we get another TJ Smith, Michael Jacinto battle, this time in a midget?
Yeah, shades of the Tulsa shootout we have seen.
all right, Caleb, I didn't take TJ Smith to my dirt draft team, and I'm getting pretty upset with you right now.
Picks are for entertainment purposes only.
TJ's wheeling that thing, though, doing a fantastic job. We've seen TJ do incredible things on the micros, and now in the midget here at the Chili Bowl, he's just, an all-around fantastic race car driver.
Coming this time, it'll be the white flag. As you look a little farther back, Wesley Smith in that white 44X trying to get Travis Minia, and he does. And waiting in the wings, Cameron LaRose in the Avanti 2P, but the white flag is out one more time around. TJ Smith from outside of the front row wins the 9th and final heat race of the 39th Chili Bowl Nationals, powered by NOS Energy Drink. Michael Jacinto, Hayden Reinbold, Wesley Smith, and Travis Minia make that. Cameron LaRose got by at the stripe for 5th, so Minia mired back into 6th, and that does it. Heat race action at the Chili Bowl is no more.
Smith
Unreal.
105, Jacinto 103. That's going to make Logan Seavey top point scorer going into qualifiers here tonight unofficially. The only thing we don't know, any penalty is assessed, etc. and so on. But we can say it unofficially. Logan Seavey's defense of his title is off to a rip-roaring start as your top point man through the heat races.
But several really good runs over the course of the heat races. And Jeff, I know you probably saw Kyle Busch, rookie here at the Chili Bowl, 7-2. Didn't look like a rookie.
Yeah, I missed that race. I think I got here just after that. But that's cool to see him out here.
Yeah.
I love it. You know, I mean, he's just a talented race car driver. You get him enough laps in anything, and he'll find a way to get to the front.
How cool is it to see? I mean, we had Ty Gibbs here as well. That the influx of more NASCAR and even other motorsport dimensions to want to come run dirt and want to come run here.
Well, why not, though? You know, I mean, it's such a cool event. You know, I think the size of the track, even though to me, if you race midgets, you think this makes it only more challenging. But I think some people on the outside go, hey, maybe I can get up to speed a little bit faster on such a short track. But the competition's so tough here. It's such a tall order that I just applaud anybody that takes on the challenge that doesn't normally get behind the wheel of these cars, and I think it also makes it more interesting for all of us to watch these guys in a different discipline.
Checking up top, Chris Moore has got our final heat race winner, TJ Smith.
Yeah, here with TJ Smith, supposed to run for 6-8 Motorsports. Things fall through. Jody Rosenboom comes through, and here you are, a heat race win. But not only that, the car looks stout up front.
Yeah, man, Jody gave me a hell of a car, kind of a last-minute deal, you know. Thinking about Mitch at home, him and his girlfriend, you know, they lost their house, so really sad deal. None of us blame him. You got to do what you got to do. So Jody stepped up and said, hey, you can come run my car, and he gave me a really good piece. Can't thank those guys enough. Truly, last minute like it was, it means the world.
What kind of challenges come with it being such a last-minute deal?
Oh, man, you know, we went out for practice day, and it was just comfortable out of the gate. So, you know, the only challenge for me was just trying to figure something to do last minute. But, you know, Jody stepped up and said he'd help me out, and we're going to go from there.
Off to a good start. Keep it rolling.
Thank you, guys.
There you go. TJ Smith has a golden driller to his credit a couple of years ago. Looking to add another one here at the Chili Bowl.
Get a look at the two-seater from the BR Motorsports Ignitioneering Speed Shot.
He's hammering it up over the cushion. That's what we like to see.
Should be. We got to check in with Brian Ward in the infield. Brian, what are you seeing?
Guys, walking out on the racetrack right now, I talked to Martin Edwards. This track looks a lot like what it did after the heat races on Tuesday and on Thursday, where the track was good for about 2/3, and then the top third still really fluffy, really moist up here. Tuesday night, they came and scraped it all, pushed a little bit up to the wall, and it widened out really early in those sub-mains and qualifiers. Thursday night, they just tilled it up, they put some water on it, left it kind of fluffy, and it took longer to widen out. I went and asked Martin, I said, what's the plan tonight? He said, it's still just a little too tall in some spots. We're gonna knock it down with the bucket, but they don't want to till it. Gravel said it's still just a little too heavy. There's too much moisture in it. It's really wet up here by the wall. I mean, it's sticking to my shoes up here. He said we're just going to knock it down. If we till it, it's not really going to do any good. It's going to just pack right back down. So just scrape it where it's too tall and let them widen it out with the racetrack when the cars get back out on here.
Brian, thank you. We've got a couple of minutes left with Jeff Gordon down here in the Brian Kopinski announce booth here on our coverage of the 39th Annual Chili Bowl Nationals, powered by NOS Energy Drink. Second time we've had you come down into the booth over these couple of years, Jeff, and this event grows year in, year out, to the point where it is almost becoming mainstream knowledge of the Chili Bowl and when it's going on. Kind of a cool deal. Do you see that from the outside looking in as well?
Oh, 100%. I know we've got some folks from Hendrick Motorsports. Every year they're like, hey, can I get on the the list of people, and I want to go to Chili Bowl, and so we've got a few people that have never been that are here with us this time, and I mean, that's just in a race team, right? So you can imagine the reach that it has. I think as Flo has just continued to promote it and build it, it's always been an amazing event, but definitely getting a lot more mainstream.
Well, we thank you so much for taking the time to come down and visit with us here in our little home away from home off of turn number 4. Enjoy tomorrow, too, being the Grand Marshal, and, enjoy your time here and soak it all in.
Well, great job to you guys. You bring the action to the fans, and it's a long week. So I can't wait for the big payoff tomorrow, and excited to be here as the Grand Marshal. So I really appreciate everybody having me and asking me to be a part of this event. And I'm just going to be a big race fan from here on out.
Thank you very much. We appreciate the kind words. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the greatest of all time, Jeff Gordon, coming into the booth with us here for the tail end of the heat races here at the Chili Bowl Nationals. We got more coming up, D features, C features, qualifiers, and more. Stay tuned. This is the 39th Annual Chili Bowl Nationals, powered by NOS Energy Drink on FloRacing.
From the innovators behind Stag Motorsports, Stagco, and Stag Insurance comes Wedge Carts by Stag Unlimited. Hand-built in the USA, our custom wedge frames deliver unmatched speed, agility, and pure driver